Welcome to another spontaneous episode of It Is What It Is, aka Introduction to Something. My Instagram is popping. The streets are watching. Your boy Dreads wasn't really too much more than an option. You heard me? Gotta keep it pimping, baby. They hate on him. It's cool, though. They say what they like. Just add to the hype. You heard me? Hope everybody doing alright today. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be up for the replay, so I hope you're doing alright today or tonight. It's all good. You heard me? So, really ain't got a topic for today. Not right now. It's gonna be a pretty good little stream. Um, do more than ramble. I really hate that on the Steam Yard, like you really can't like on the phone, right? On the Stream Yard on the phone, you really can't do shit. You really can't do anything like share videos or nothing. You just you're just so fucking limited. It's ridiculous. What's up with you, cat? Nada said, hey y'all. So there is that. Now I know as soon as I do this, it's gonna probably mess up, but I gotta share the link a little bit. Make sure to get the folks on in who coming on round. You did. Hold up. Hold up. Uh, how the fuck do I do that? Damn, sure was not it. Whoops. Wrong button. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Go. All right, there we go. You couldn't sleep. Ah, shit. You stuck here with the kid. Nah, I just wanted to just throw a little stream up. my next schedule stream is gonna be sometime Monday where I'm gonna have some pretty good topics and elaborate on the topics of the last stream, which I still can now, even though I don't have the two geniuses on my side, which was Kyra and Pixie with their mental gymnastics, psychological knowing selves. They knew a lot of stuff going on with that, and it was pretty deep. It was pretty cool. Gotta check that John out. I think you saw little bits and pieces of it. You probably even already watched it, but you know it was a long. I'm really trying like to get the hang of this joint. It's so garbage though, Chris. Like, you can't do Nathan. You can't do not a thing. Nothing on the phone. You can't do nothing. You can't screen share. You can't show videos. I don't know if I have to pay for the full trial. I mean, pay for the full service or what. But nigga can't show shit, and that shit crazy. The hang of it, motherfucker, this hang man. I this shit. Yeah, it ain't showing nothing. It ain't showing nothing, fool. It's crazy. Like you can't do it. It won't let you do it. It ain't no way it does it. It ain't happen. That's why when Kyra or BX or any guests come on, I'm happy I got set up where I can let them do the screen share who I trust, and bada bing, bada boom, you won't know shit. Oh, true, what it do? Oh yeah, man. Good to see you, man. This stream just got a little something, something. It ain't too much. But be expecting another like very detailed and thought out, better thought out stream come Monday. My next off day. I'm gonna make sure it's Monday. It might you might even see a glimpse of it later on in this stream, but definitely going to elaborate more on the talking points we had in the last one, around the thought processes and human conception and things of that nature, and nature comparable to nurture and the duality of those two. Hey, you thought a nigga want to listen, and I be here now. Oh, you can't hear me, Chris? Ah, okay, cool. Don't have me thinking it's effing up now. I already said fuck, but not well, fuck it. But yeah, I can go and try to drop the link if anybody want to try to jump on, and we get true if you got time. No, but you said you're listening. Don't worry about it. I can go ahead and have you some more thoughts about my elaboration on such topics. Fuck it, right? So this how I go. Okay, you know what? Here's another piece of sugar for the topping of that ice cream. So like, what if entertainment subconsciously influence a certain reaction to situations, almost as if that person who listened to it has experienced and or know someone how to react in certain trigger environments. You know what I mean? Dropping the link right now though. I know I talk a mile a minute, but just let me know if you're following that. So an example to that is it was the previous example in the other video. I like it though because it makes so much sense to me. All right, environment A is prone to bullying, cyber crime, blah 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 blah, blah, taking advantage of the downtrodden. Environment B is your regular blue collar American dream type fictitious environment, which exists in this world. But I'm talking about there's no crime. Neighborhood watch is on 100%. There's nothing going on. An individual experiences both of those environments. Now, environment A, like I said, is prone to hostile encounters. Environment B is, is a safe haven basically. Now we have subject one and subject two. Subject two, raised up in your realistic world of Philadelphia or Memphis or St. Louis, where you know the tricks of the trade are going to be alert. Subject one, silver spoon in the mouth, yet still kind of observant, but green, but don't really know what's going on. You introduce them both to situations. Now we don't have to go into a generational thing, but it would make sense that subject two will survive better and do better in environment A, which is hostile, and subject one would thrive in B because of their background. Now we go into where both of them now they're adapted to their environment. Hold up. Uh-oh. Let's see if it won't cut me off. If it does, I'll be back. We got our dog crew helper. Can you hear me? Yo, True, what it do? Can you hear me? Damn it. It cut me off. I thought it'd do it. Crap. Well, anyway. Where was I? Oh, we got him again. Two times the charm. My right hand arm. True helper.
Hey, what it is?
What's up? So yeah, like I was saying, like two, like if two is in his natural environment and one is in his natural environment, which is B, you get how I did the numbers different. So I can say two A and one B.
Right.
If they both are introduced to, if their generation lineage down the line are introduced to certain stressful triggers that cause the ancestors to adapt, I believe that they'll be prone to show the same results that the other ones did. Have you ever heard the saying, just like a such and such?
Yep. Yep. And I loved how you started off this topic because I got some information about that. It is actually a fact that the CIA used an operation called Operation Mockingbird many, many moons ago, back in the early stages of the Cold War, back in the 70s, when they actually took their people and installed them in different media, mainstream media outlets to further influence the U.S. war effort. Be it, even though we
Hmm.
weren't technically at war at the time, with the Cold War that was going on, they had to more or less groom the hearts and minds of many Americans using the mainstream media. And that term
Right.
Mockingbird, I always use that with the mainstream, and it's not a joke. There are channels that have collective videos where they show how repetitive and how on script all these mainstream media outlets are. Meaning you would tune in, say, to ABC at 8 o'clock, and they'd be talking about, say, the war effort or something in Afghanistan or whatever the case is. Then you tune into NBC and even Fox. I mean, it just doesn't, there's no limit to their want to be controlled. Sorry, using words out here for a second. A little busy trying to take my
Right.
pups outside. But no,
Oh man, you good.
you're spot on. You were spot on with that because they have used the mainstream Mockingbird media for many generations. So much so that you know who Anderson Cooper is, right? Of CNN.
Oh, of course. I
His
saw damn near his rise before I even recognized who he was.
well, I'll tell you what. You want your mind blown? Research him and his family. His family were all up into the CIA as well as he was. And many believe, and of course, I better say allegedly, that allegedly, because they're still not admitting to Project Mockingbird. But come on, I mean, I think we have enough records and enough evidence to prove their movements and all that over the years. Ever since everything's gone to the internet and information is so
Right.
much more vastly available, and we have so many different people working on these stories, doing the research, so they can't get away from the truth. I don't care how much they try to hide. It's out there in plain sight for all of those who actually are cognitive, decent, realistic thinkers. Actually look at
Right.
stuff instead of just believing every single big bull crap narrative the mainstream spews. And I believe one of the most dangerous weapons they are trying to employ now is division. They have been trying to sow division into our society for so long that now we are finally starting to see what their efforts have been all about because it's showing. It really is. I remember growing up in the 70s and 80s, and racism was hardly ever spoke of. Don't get it wrong, it was out there, and there were certain people that were knee deep into it. But the fact is people started standing up and fighting back against a lot of those racists. And say people like the KKK and all them, you know, they are so diminished, and there are hardly any of their chapters around. And that's because, as a population, we have grown. But then here in 2021 and in 2020, they were trying to make it seem as if that it's one of the biggest issues to humanity, to us here in America. But the real fact is that they have been sowing that story in using the mainstream Mockingbird media. Keep telling you how bad it is
Right.
to be white, how bad it is, and how much oppression is going on. Let me tell you what, there are reasons why there are certain amendments in our Constitution, or excuse me, in our Bill of Rights, that gives now every single person of color a heck of a lot more rights and a heck of a lot more civil liberties and freedoms. Just like with women, they weren't able to vote until what, 150 years ago, or they weren't able to be involved in that kind of thing. But we have changed this
Well, it was around
society.
that time. Well, at least about like 80 for sure.
So the,
It was
the
like,
point
wasn't it
is
like,
yes, you're
not
right.
1940? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you're 100% right. The media has been really causing division and is easily able to manipulate us as not only just human beings.
I mean, just look at the feminist movement, man. They push the certain truths. Yeah, some of the shit was fucked up, and they scripted a narrative where like you can never satisfy, which at one point it wasn't that damn difficult. Let's just be honest. I wasn't born at that time, but god damn it, you can see where shit got complicated for no reason. That's why it's never gonna end.
hmm hmm Well, the good news is that many American patriots are finally starting to wake up. All as I've
I
ever
dig
asked
it.
people, I know that there unfortunately has been sides that have been formed. You're either left or you're right or you're center, or many of us don't even identify as being on any given political side, but we're just about what's right. I've been called a
Right.
conservative more times than I can count, and I'll gladly own up to that because I've noticed at least within many other conservatives, we're all about free living. We're all about, and I mean that in the sense of not being under the arm or the pressure of government to do things. And there are so many other countries that control their citizens and make them do different jobs, and they live under the rule of communism and so many other negative damn ideologies. It's insane. So
Say it
I'm
again
proud
for
to say
those
that
in the
we're
back.
We're waking up in mass, and the good part is that the mainstream knows its grip over society is now finally starting to be broken. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. No other choice but to be broken, man. When you got people who gonna keep on yelling it to the motherfuckers' ears bleed, somebody's got to do it. If they're gonna shove it down our throats, I've been talking about certain agendas, without even knowing what the fuck really going on. I mean, honest to God, truth. Like it be just certain little narratives that you can kind of see it.
Hmm.
Oh, look at him! Look at him! Look at him! That's what I'm talking about. My guy. But no, like it'd be ridiculous. Like all you see is just bootlicking, to the point where it's not even bootlicking, it's sympathy and sympathy. But isn't that still bootlicking? And then you have people come in with the wrong idea, using the wrong turn of phrase because they have noticed and learned from the experience that's been displayed the wrong definition and the wrong turn of phrase, which what they believe in, but what they believe is right, but the way they're gonna learn to go back will be wrong. So
You're
we
right.
have nothing but just a pool of ignorance, which once
Yep.
they get deeper in their emotions, they feel like that their feelings is wrong, but they just
Yep.
misinterpret their message.
Yes. Amen to that. You said that 100% right, because it does begin when someone starts their journey in life from, through, and by their parents to show them the proper way. But unfortunately, if, say, the parents have been indoctrinated by the lamestream mockingbird media, you're going to have a problem. That's why you got a lot of this groupthink nowadays. It's why you got a lot of these things like CRT in the schools, and a lot of these communist preaching, dictator type teachers that are out there. And don't get me wrong, I want to let one thing be known right now. I've got the utmost respect for teachers because I do believe that in many ways it's a very thankless job. However, I do know that there are a good handful of the SJWs running around preaching politics and everything else in our schools when our children are there to learn things like world history, mathematics, proper English and grammar, and maybe even gain themselves a foreign language. You know what I mean? They're not there to learn about political ideology and all that kind of stuff. Those things typically in our past were usually started up in late high school to early college, because that's when our children are old enough to have a decent understanding about how these things roll, instead of being taught when they're still in elementary and middle school about, oh yeah, it's cool to be on this side and this and that and the other. No, 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 no. Being a part of something is not about being cool. It's about having the proper
Right.
understanding, education, and spiritual connection to any given topic. You know what I mean? Just attaching your name or someone's soul onto something because it's cool, I think, is really what has stunted many of our children today, because everything's about the fad. What's the cool thing? What's the not cool thing? And then if you're not cool,
See,
then you're
and
getting
that's the
trashed on
sad
social media.
shit. That's the sad shit. Because as individuals, and that's why I want to cut you off, as individuals, we crave, and especially as children and adolescents, and especially ignorance, this threat to knowledge and sponges, as I heard in a previous discussion we had at 25, basically up to 25, we still have a little mental sponge capability. I can argue that probably even longer than that, depending on the person and the capability of their mental. But still, to my point, it's remarkable that you'll go about the information in the way that you took it in, the way that you've learned it, but it'll be such the wrong way. So where you look at what's cool, you'll think that that's the most interesting and the most dead ass important thing that you need to learn, because
Hmm.
that's your nature of that's the nature of the environment that you soaked up in at that
Hmm.
point, and you're trying to find nurture in that.
Yep, you're right. You're right, because unfortunately, you know, that's what a lot of these adults know they can take advantage of, is a child's naivete and them being young. Because, when you're young, you're all about love. You're all about what's cool, what is the next fad, and all those different types of
Didn't
things.
they
But usually
say
that goes with video games and clothing and stuff like that.
didn't some
Not, yeah, not
didn't some
these.
psychotics say I want you to finish this. I just want to say this, and I'm gonna be quiet. I want you to finish that, but check this out. Didn't some I know you heard it before. Some psychotics say, give me a child before 5. No. Give me teach a child after 5. You don't have no teach a child after 7, you can't tell them nothing. Teach a child before 7, He'll do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's deeper than that, but it's basically saying when they're young, you
Yep.
can basically get them to believe anything onward to what you want in that point of time. But if
Yes.
after time they have their own mindset, it'd be hard to crack the shell that they already built.
Yes. Yep. And that's called their permanent character. We build that, and of course, it's ever evolving, obviously. But as what's already known is that usually by the age of 25, the human brain fully matures, and it pretty much concretes itself, given the fact of how long you've been learning about certain things and all that. And to say if you're growing up in a household that is purely political, you'll see most times, 9 times out of 10, you'll see a purely political child and adult now come from that home, or you'll get one that'll just totally resent it and want nothing to do with it. But unfortunately, it's like what's the old saying? Monkey see, monkey do. What one does, the other will do. Well, it's the same thing with, say, even with puppies and their parents. They'll emulate and react to everything they do. So, in other words, you couldn't be more spot on with that. And it's unfortunate that the mainstream has actually studied for many years. I mean, they've actually had full panels of scientists doing all the research and having these little scientific studies to see how people will react when bombarded with sheer just tons of information, good, bad, or
And
indifferent, and then they will take whatever the results were from those studies, and then they will figure out what is the best tactic, what is the best way to approach the American populace. Or in many countries, this is happening. This happens in China, this happens in Brazil, this happens in Russia, this happens in Germany. Unfortunately, the mainstream is looking to politically steer people in their direction. They want those that will be willing to live by their command, and they have that "do as I say, not as I do" type of mindset. And I think that is really disgusting, and it's also very, very disturbing. And that's why I just tell people, and mostly parents. Of course, I've been within the sponsorship now for over 2 decades. It's been something that I've really been, passionate about, and I see and hear this all the time from many parents. Oh, look, I feel like I'm losing control with my kids and all that, and I just tell them, you just try to do the best you can, and just try to make them so that they steer away from these different sources of information that you feel would corrupt them. And that's why you just got to be involved. That's really what it boils down to. You have to be involved with your children's lives. And then say if it's that you're not a parent, you don't have kids. It's all about free thinking. It's about hearing voices and thoughts from all sides, and not just one. When somebody limits themselves to an echo chamber, more than likely you're going to get a person that is just ideologically, wow, words are hard right now. Uh, uh, I don't even the word escape me. But anyway, you'll get a person that will get stuck on those types of foundations, and then they'll be preaching from, say, one perspective from what they've been taught by these different influencers, such as the mainstream media. And then politicians are no better. And many of them are the same way. And don't get me wrong, I know there's handfuls of good people everywhere, and all facets of our society, and in every single type of career you
man,
could name. But that's why I say I think that a lot of, especially here in the United States of America, I believe that many people have been asleep at the wheel for far too long, and that's why they, as I put it in quotation marks, have been able to get away with a lot of this indoctrination that they have been doing upon generation after generation of people for a long time. So we just have to, you have to think for yourselves, question everything. Don't believe a dang thing that you see until you're able to vet it and prove it at least 2 or 3 different times from different sources.
right.
What you think
And
about that?
it's really sad. No, and I agree. I agree. Not even blindly. I followed you, goddamn it. I even caught up with you. My car even broke down. I trailed you till it broke down. I got in the car with you, and I passenger road all the way to the destination. I'm with you. Like, but it's crazy. And the sad part about the whole damn thing is because people become and how you doing, the moose? People become more susceptible. And just follow me. I'm not trying to stutter, but I'm about to go ahead and just break wind with this shit. All right. People become more susceptible with the group think because it feels safer. Because why go against what others think? Because why be ridiculed? Because as people we're taught that we cannot be without others. It makes sense that we're naturally want to build with others. It makes sense that we would like to collaborate, but it should be on our own terms. And we learn that later. We're built up to believe we should always collaborate until later on in life we find out, or growing up in adolescence, we find out that it's going to always be a different alternative motive between those that we interact with. So it's sad when you get to those individuals that still stick to their groupthink method unsubconsciously, not unsubconsciously, subconsciously, where it comes into the fact that just because I heard them say it and they said it in a fancy way, it makes sense. I'm not even going to apply my life experiences to this idea because it makes more sense to me because it sounds comfortable to what I thought that I was doing. I haven't even checked what I really think and what they just said and really what they know and what I know, and then try to cross-examine that. Fuck that. This sounds good to me. But then you get misled like that. But you can also be on the right path when you do that. It's no telling because it's personal experiences, and nobody ever really want to put in the time and effort to really be understood. They always want somebody to hear them. They want somebody to talk to, but they never want to cross communicate. They never want to listen. And then when they listen, they never really want to understand if the understanding isn't to their liking or to their understanding. They really will refuse to grow if it sounds offensive to what they already know, which is understandable because that society or thinking accepted them to their knowledge of how they can come at it, and they benefited from that parasitic type thought that maybe if I act like they want me to think, or maybe because they said it in this nice way, it gotta make sense because I thought possibly like that, even though I didn't really think about it. I didn't really study, double check what I was really thinking about, or reference what the fuck I was even talking about. They sound like spot on because it really makes sense. And it's crazy because you could be close, but if you don't do your own research, a nigga can tell you why the sky is blue, but they won't even give you the pure scientific method on what creates the sky, on what really is
Yep.
the sky. And that's just a term just to give you the layer of space between us and the atmosphere or the stratosphere. But we ain't going there. I'm just saying.
Damn, you knocked that one out of the park, my brother. You really did. Because what you said, especially about the group think and that pack mentality, is something that many of those government scientists had figured out a long time ago. And that's why they've been able to be as effective delivering different forms of propaganda, and in many situations with people that without them even realizing that what they were being fed was a lie, because they know, just like you were saying, and again, you hit that nail square smack dead on, dead on. And they figured very fast. One of the first results in some of those scientific research studies that they did, and I'm going back to the 60s and 70s, where they would put people in different rooms and get their definitions of things and how they felt about being given information. One of the first things they figured out was they knew that people do feel a whole lot better when they're surrounded by their own. And even if
Mm.
you don't see eye to eye with some of them, sometimes you still have that feeling of safety by being surrounded by a group of people that you've now have been able to relate to. And that's why I feel that the mainstream has been pushing this narrative and this damn agenda upon people for so long, because now they have, in fact, divided a lot of people. But that's why,
It's, I mean,
I'm
think
a glass
about
half
it.
full
Like,
kind
think
of guy.
about it. Like when you think about it, like when you have. I ain't try to just fuck it. Just think about this. When you look at the news, right? Look, just think about it. When you look at the news, and you see the motherfuckers go into certain communities, who the fuck is the anchor in certain communities? It will either be a person that better identifies with their community because they know the people in their community is going to gravitate more to that. Because
Mm-hmm.
the term that they taught everyone is the devil you know, not the one you're not. What they say, the lesser
Yep.
of both devils? Come the
Yep.
fuck on, dog.
The lesser two evils. Yep. Yep. I tell you
Think,
what.
thinking.
But they've made a mistake, and let me tell you how and why they've made a mistake. Okay, is because they at first they had all of these plans of being able to effectively brainwash people and indoctrinate them, but Now they have tried to get into too many areas, too many subjects, and too many facets of life to where they have tried to use the liberal ideology. They have tried to use it from a religious point of view. They have tried to use it from a political point of view. Now they've gotten into the whole LGBTQAIP communities. I mean, they have literally taken on so many different life areas of life that they found that it is very, very overwhelming to try to do. Now, say if they just stuck with one thing, say for example, just politics. Okay, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Then at least you're going to come out successful with a small group of people or whatever else. But because my brother, because they have taken on so much, they're now standing to lose, and they have been losing every day because we have been waking people up left, right, and center. And I have seen hardcore political types that now are walking away, and they're like, you know what? All of this is just being done for nothing further than to sow division and hate in our society. And I'm sick and tired of it. I mean, dude, I've got people, and I hate to go political here, but I had five hardcore staunch Democrats, which I once was too. I did the whole hope and change thing the first term of Obama, but after 3 weeks of his term, I knew I was like, oh, what did I do? And I dipped real quick. But I had five hardcore Democrat friends that have now walked away from the party, which if you asked me this a year ago, I would have told you, hell no. There's no way they would do it. But after getting with them and asking them, why did you leave? Like, what was the reason? And then once they started explaining, I knew then that the mainstream is starting to lose their grip over people because people, as God's children, we go towards love, healing, and light a hell of a lot faster than we do with hate and all that. And don't get me wrong, there are those rubberneckers out there that love to look at, the occasional traumatic accident or whatever else, or those that are knee deep into drama and all that. But I'm telling you, there's a lot more people that will gravitate towards the goodness of any area of life than they will these dark seated, just stressful situations, which, again, going back and proving the point that the mainstream has lost their grip because they have been too busy into too many areas of life. So keep your head up, brother. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. And every day that I live out here and I look around amongst the society and even my community as a whole, I have seen hearts and minds done change so much just in the past 9 months, 9 to 10 months. It's almost unbelievable. And if again you asked me
It's
this a
like
year ago, I would have called you full of crap. But yeah, we're winning, man. We
it's
really
like
are.
it's like I'm not even against it. I'm not tripping. This is the thing though, and don't take it as if I said, but there's always a lack of confidence in the statement. This is a more of a addition, if not continuation, hopefully a piggyback. Like the timing could not be anywhere, and that's what I mean. And what I mean by anywhere is it just has to be in the moment, and that is very reckless to say. But I feel that once it is too easy, it's too late.
Yep. Everything good
You
in
got to
life
think about
is
chess
hard earned.
because a chess master. Now, of course, it's getting harder, of course. But I'm saying if we wait till it's like, haha, we got you. A chess master troll you by having you believe that, oh damn, you about to checkmate, boom, 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 checkmate.
Yeah, exactly. And I have always
So
lived
it's
by
like it's got to be in the moment.
yeah,
It's got to be it's got to be in a certain way, which is ridiculous. How it's actually going in a natural way. It's so unorganized yet it's so constructive because it's like it's figuring itself out, which we are, but at the same time, it takes the same mistakes it takes the same mistakes with the same type of individuals, learning from the same mistakes, trying to teach the youth from the mistakes, dying, but the youth never listen, doing the same mistake. It's a never ending cycle until some break it. And more are breaking that at a certain point. I get it. I don't really have too
you're
much
right.
faith in anything but myself, and I feel like everyone else should have more faith in themselves. I
Uh,
think the more independent you are, the more collective we can be strong. Because if you straight and I'm straight, then we straight.
Yep, you ain't got to carry anybody else's water. Absolutely. And that's exactly what it sums up to. You know, in life, we are meant to make mistakes because we also learn by those mistakes. But anyone thinking that it is
Mistake.
just too easy and that you can simply earn something, there's a reason why it's labeled to earn something. It means you got to work for that SOB. I can't stand sometimes seeing all these people talking about these get rich quick schemes and all that. Look, nothing good in
Right.
life is going to be quick. It is going damn well to be easy. Blood, sweat, and tears. It's called sweat equity. Maybe that's just how my mom raised me. God rest her sweet soul. But she taught all myself and my siblings. If you want anything in life, you got to go out there. You got to bust your ass. You got to put that work in, and you got to shed them blood, sweat, and tears in order to make that stuff happen. Because that's just a natural part of life.
Right.
And of course, when you're young, you don't really identify with that too much. But heck, when you start getting working and all, and you earning that money, and you start buying your first things and all that, and you grow up and then you become a parent yourself, you learn real quick. You really do. And then you
It's
find
like
out, like, wow,
it's like a
that is the right way to
motherfucker.
go.
A motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. And that's good advice. And I'm not discrediting it. And that's up to the individual. And you know what I'm going when I say that.
Yeah, I know
And
what you
and
mean.
hopefully people take it the right way. And they continue to choose their own path, of course. And if their own path is in conjunction with the right way, all roads lead to freedom. But if you just go blindly follow the masses, all roads lead to ignorance. And you can be the smartest motherfucker in the world, but willfully ignorant. And that's just how it is. And it's disrespectful to see people do their best to manipulate people who are so deeply in their emotions that they'll follow the way because they feel like that's what they want. That's the
Well,
best
yeah,
alternative motive. That's the only way. And it may be
yeah,
in their own individual situation. But did they really do good by themselves? That's why I said when I first got game and I stick by it and I'm acting more and more like it every day. You gotta be more selfish. No, you have to be more selfish to be more selfless. If you completely take care of yourself and care about yourself as much as you want to take care and care about other people, then you will be able to because you're gonna be good enough to do that. If that's your true motive. See,
yep.
people
Or
want to
as,
make everyone selfless as hell until they run out of everything. So
yeah,
everybody
that's
just
true.
give, 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 give. It's an endless pyramid scheme until nobody's happy. Everybody's struggling, but we together. That's cool. But if we just take care of ourselves and then take care of each other or help each other when each other needs help,
Yep,
ain't
you ain't
nobody
no,
got it the
you're no,
same fucking way.
or as we say, you're no good to someone else if you're no good to yourself. And having you, the best of you, stepping forward in any situation is what is going to make or break the situation of which you were trying to help somebody else who was in dire need by. So, in other words, and
Right.
I've always been proud to have a certain group of friends that have had the ability to tell me, yeah, man, you're fucking up bad, or you're doing this wrong, or you're doing that wrong, or whatever, because they know I'm not putting my best person forward. I'm not putting my best foot forward, as it said. But look,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we just have to learn to get out of different echo chambers, but not making excuses for people either. But I do understand that mindset of being consumed by the mob mentality and all that, because as we had previously discussed, it does feel good and it gives you that feeling of as being whole when you're a part of something bigger than yourself. But then you're like a sheep led to the slaughter. So standing on your own 2 feet and being your own person, I think it's why it's good that you're putting that message forward today. You got to be your best person first. You have got to work on
But
yourself
alas,
and constantly know that you also get ready and accept the fact that you're going to make mistakes. That's just how I raise my boys. If you ever get defeated by something in life, you just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. Heck, I believe that was a Liz song. I believe something. I can't remember. Hell,
that
Romeo
was a
must die.
leader.
Yeah, I
But
just
let me
remember.
ask you. But let me ask you, and I'm not on this side. I agree with you 1,000%, 3,000% in fact. But let me ask you this though. But why would I want to do that when I can easily just piggyback on someone else? I mean, there's so many other people that got it close. I don't really want to
Yeah.
put in the time to think about it. We live in a society where people use excuses, and it's ridiculous because you have other people. We can't be no, we can't be held like them. We got our own little message that probably happened, and they use it as an example of giving them an excuse. But we have motherfuckers that don't want to do anything but just piggyback on everything. And if they can't piggyback
Yeah.
on it, even when they fall, fuck it, it ain't my fault. It's your fault because you said do it. When the whole time you said I'm doing this, you didn't say if I was you. And even if you did, you didn't say do it or I kill you. It's never to that extreme. It hardly ever gets to that point. But then we have people who are afraid to speak out because they know their opinions don't matter. That's what they know. But it's not true. But they know that. You can't tell somebody their truth is wrong. They won't
Right.
believe opposite. They
Well,
don't
that's
care what you say until they find out different. They don't give a
well, that's
fuck what the truth is until they find out different.
That's why you got to lead by example. That's why, again, as I started out this conversation by saying that it really begins with how the parents raise their children. And just like me and my queen did with ours, we did teach them right and wrong from as early as I can remember. Yeah, and that really makes a huge difference because giving children those lessons in morality and teaching them the difference between right and wrong and why it is, in fact, so wrong to take stuff from others that definitely damn well wasn't yours to begin with is the worst thing that you can do in life. But you're right, there are a lot of people out there nowadays that have that type of mindset because they have been able to get away with murder in some cases. Like even places like California passing these laws that you're allowed to steal up to a certain dollar amount. And that anybody getting caught stealing and it's under, say, like $1,000 or $500, whatever crazy amount it is, all they do is get a slap on the wrist and they get sent on their way. Well, where's the learning in something like that? You know what I mean? Because usually that's also how young adults sometimes have to be taught. They have to get in some trouble at some point. If
But
you're going to do
but
something so
but
bad as stealing from others that you've never earned it yourself, or if you're going to commit assault or something major and you just get a slap on the wrist and get sent about your way, where's the educational lesson in that? It's not going to happen, and that's
why would
why
I
I
want
think
to
society's become
educate
a
that
cesspool
though?
in some cases.
Why would I want to stop that? I want your stupid ass. No offense. I want your. I'm just saying. I want a stupid motherfucker or your stupid ass or any stupid motherfucker who dumb enough to keep stealing up to a certain amount so I can get them on a federal offense. I don't want
I
to
know
keep
that's
locking them
crazy.
up for a petty
Well,
crime. I
but
need
that's why.
all the money. I know I want all the money. I want to lock them up. I want to process them. And if you want me to legalize shit, fine. You can have up to this amount. And I'm going to make sure that the amount gets smaller. Because I'm going to find motherfuckers who going to go against the grain. It ain't got to be 5 million out of 10 million. It can be 2 million out of 100,645 billion. That's enough
Mhm.
for me. 2 million is enough for me to
No,
stop
you're
all
right.
this shit. Because I
You're
want to
right.
lock you up and I want to get more money. And then I'm going to pass more shit so you can get more sick. So your ass go to my hospitals so I can get more money if your ass ain't
Yeah.
locked up. And then when you die, I can get paid when I bury your ass. So I mean,
Right.
I'm gonna
Right.
make sure
Well,
I get money all the way around. If it's all about money,
it's a fine balance in life. You still there?
fucked up out here. I feel you
Uh,
though.
you, you cut off for a second there, but that's why it's a fine balance. It really, really is. But that's where, as adults, also, if people are tired of how the system works, they do in fact have more power than they know, and they can get involved in being a part of different political centers throughout their communities. Do you know how many areas, such as even spots like mayors in some counties and different
Mm.
constable positions and many other elected positions are left vacant, and any one particular person could step up and fill them? Well, that's what a lot of people say on the left side no, and that's how and why they've been able to take over certain states like they have, like California and New Jersey and many others. They've been able to get away with putting these people in positions of power to be able to legislatively pass these laws that make zero sense, and they hold the society as a whole responsible for what they do. Instead, no, they've made a mockery of it, and it's a joke, is what it is. But whereas, say, like in Florida, you got what DeSantis down there, you got several other states that you've got decent governors that have stepped up and have passed laws to hold thugs and creeps and stealers and rapists and all. They hold them truly responsible. Well, maybe not as hard as rapes, but a lot of the misdemeanor charges they've been
Mhm.
allowing a lot of these these scumbags to get away with while they've been rioting and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, because I do see the difference between, say, a debate or say just an everyday protest versus, when the lights go out and it gets after dark and these idiots running all over the place, tearing stuff up, trying to scream out different, groups and communities and different slogans like, oh no, this is all about helping people. Well, how are you helping people when you're burning down a whole entire stinking city block? Hard-earned business owners who will
Exactly.
never see those businesses open their doors again and all that stuff. And where's the recourse at? Because now a lot of those in the political environment have removed the tools necessary to hold those scumbags accountable. That way it doesn't happen again. Because then you damn well know if that person, the people that commit those crimes get in trouble and do the time, they're going to tell others like, oh, whoa, you might not want to do that or whatever else. And yeah, you're going to have repeat offenders. And I get it. However, you've got to make an example of certain people so that the same crime doesn't happen again. I'm sorry, I've always been pretty stern on my stance with that. I really have been. But it's just why I've always said to different parents, look, your kid starts acting up and all that stuff, you got to handle it, And I'm not talking about, flat out whooping ass all the time. But, you got to learn a way to get to know your child better so that you can make better decisions so that they grow up to be a decent person. You know what I mean? And that's what I said, man. It can be seen as a heavy balance, and I know it could even confuse some and make some parents even say, "Oh, well, I give up. Just the heck with it. I'd just rather I'll buy them a PlayStation or an Xbox or something like that." But trust, you don't want the consequences from those types of lazy actions. You just don't. But then as parents too, I'm sorry, I keep getting away from it, keep rambling on. But as adults, we have the opportunities to step up and be good, hard-working citizens and get involved in certain different political areas within our communities to make sure that different laws are in fact passed. So that way we can make sure that our community stays safe and decent as a whole instead of just letting it go nuts.
Mm.
You understand with that?
That makes a lot of sense. No, that makes a lot of sense. But they don't want that.
Oh no, you're right. They don't. You don't. That's why the government keeps
And
on
it's
incentivizing
not
people to
and it's
stay at
not
home.
for and it's not for what they want though. And that's the whole gimmick. It's sad that people claim to scream out, I'm doing me, I'm individual, I do me, but you follow all influences. But haven't they had to be influenced to get this type of mindset as well? They have to be influenced by something, and I get it. What's wrong with the self-reflection to understand is what you truly standing for, you mean it? Why is it
Mm,
always got to be too late?
truth. Truth. Yeah.
That's all I'm fucking saying. It's always got to be too late. And then that's when the other cliche terms come out. You never know what you have till it's gone. And that's usually given to relationships and other things they take it for granted, like any kind of relationship, friendship, etc. But that goes for knowledge, time, and all that. Because the sad part about it, at any point in time, the outcome is still possible. It's just depending on the individual to just decide when they're ready to do it. And I get that it's harder than some, but once you figure out that you need to stop acting on certain triggered reactions, you open your mind to more productive measures to keep your impulses in check. I would think.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I believe and feel it also takes a good, hardworking, decent minded group that surrounds any given individual, especially if one is in need of support. I think one of the biggest issues in today's internet day and age is that it is confined many people behind their little keyboards and all that stuff rather than getting out and about. So when they start making mistakes and all that, as they're suffering these mistakes, in many cases they're doing it in silence and by themselves, and then they don't say have a support group or at least that direct person to person type of interaction. I feel that makes a huge difference rather than just being online, you just all day every day. And I think it really
Listen,
starts to hurt people as a whole, because once that power goes off, once that screen goes off, don't you feel like you should be able to reach out and just contact someone and be able to unload your problems and all that stuff? But I guess I'm blessed because I got my queen for that. She's my
no,
go-to on a lot
see.
of that type of stuff.
And you did the purest way you could do it, cause my way would still be cool, cause I ain't got no negativity with that at all. Getting out, no people. I was born in '92. It was right before the internet shit just kind of started booming. It came out in the like mid to late 2000s. Then in the 2010s when it really got out of hand. But hold up, you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You were breaking up there for a
All
second.
right, cool. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, when you click off, shit go ham. But it's like shit. I think I done down forgot what I was talking about because I saw the chat and I done clicked off and stuff. Well, what was your last statement?
Actually, I was just starting to read into the comments here. I think BX is definitely onto something, but I do have a retort for that. But he says, I would assume while living in anarchy, a system would be set for whatever community you're in. That community would create rules that they all agree on and maybe kick the person out that breaks them. Well, I agree with that, but as a known follower and study of over societal norms and methodology and all that stuff, unfortunately, people have taken that word anarchy and they have made it into something truly almost terroristic like. And it obviously didn't help matters that much that the amoebas, and I won't even say their names, those ant eth types. Yeah, they've really taken a symbol like that and they've made it into something that it's really was never meant to be. But unfortunately, yeah, the moment you would talk about anarchy or whatever else, unfortunately, many parts of our current society see that as a truly bad thing. But I happen to agree with them on that. That to me would just be say if the grid were to fall tomorrow, and this is coming from the old school prepper side of myself, because yes, I am a prepper. I think I put that out there before, but
Ah, I remember
if
now. Go ahead.
if the grid was to fall, I know that me, my queen, and get my boys or our boys over here and all, we'd be good for a couple of years, just off of what we know. And but if that type of situation were to ever happen, yeah, you very well would have to live that way because you wouldn't want any leak winks and winks. Yeah, words are hard again. You wouldn't want any link. Wow, words are hard. Weak links. There we go in the chain of that community because that would ultimately stand to hurt the community as a whole. But unfortunately, nowadays, again, one of the other negative byproducts from social media and the internet is that hardly any people get out to know each other anymore. That's why here I've always been about having like a community grill out and pool parties and stuff like that, just so that different neighbors can get with each other and meet each other in person and talk over things and be able to further plan on different, God forbid, type of events. Because you never know what might happen tomorrow. You really don't. But unfortunately,
Yeah, I
again, I
remember.
know many other communities that I've been a part of that they've lived next to certain neighbors for 15, 20 years and they don't even know who they are. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like one of the first things I did, like me and my queen just moved here in the past 2 years. First thing I did was get out there and start going around, shaking all the hands of
Hey,
my
then
neighbors.
hold
And,
on. It's double talking. Gotta mute
uh-oh.
the other screen. All right, my bad.
Bitch!
Yeah, the other screen. Hey, man, I'm over here busy as hell, but I just wanted to add on to what you're saying because I said what you were
I
saying
knew you
true
would.
earlier. Earlier in the comment sections, I was saying like, yeah, there's people are evil. I don't know if Mario seen it. I was like, yeah,
I
there
might have
are
missed
just
that.
some people are just bad people. Yeah, there you go. See, I
Yeah,
said in all groups go to the extreme. Some people are just bad people as well. I said
I
that, and I
forgot.
said something earlier besides that, where how media has twisted it to mean something it's not. So
Yes,
when people saw
yes.
it, it would just
Yep.
say like, "See violence," and that's not what anarchy is at all. But they want to
Yeah.
scare you from it because they want you to think that the only option is that they can have control. But if
Yep. And do you
anarchy
know
was
who did that?
truth, then the
Do
people would have it.
and do you know that the government did that? Yes, that has actually been
Yes,
wrote. That has been wrote
yes.
that they wanted
F the
people to
government.
live by there. Yep. Exactly.
That's exactly when I said they. That's what I was talking about. They want you to believe that the only option is under their control.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe
Absolutely.
that if true anarchy was here, yeah, there would be a few knuckleheads. But if you develop a system where the community, each community had their own set of rules, and you just go to whichever one suits you best. You
Hmm.
got to vote in. They got to like accept you into the community, and you pitch in, fam. It's like it's no jobs really. It's the community has a job. Everyone has their own part that they play. It could be growing plants or things of that nature. Fam,
Yeah,
it would be
doctor,
so
healer.
peaceful.
Yep, yep.
And we just have a section with the outcasts, the ones that wanted to be knuckleheads. We just let them fend for themselves. Throw their ass out there, build the wall, throw all the knuckleheads in it. Y'all ain't want to contribute?
Yep.
Get your ass out of here, man.
And
We knock them out. We
do
gonna
you
be
know
good.
that's what certain writers do as well? Certain ones that are actually hardcore preppers, and I can't go saying names, but I
Mm,
do know a couple that are actually in and around Hollyweird, as it were. But actually, those people that put out certain shows like The Walking Dead and all those, that's
yeah,
actually the kind of message that they're trying to push forward. Obviously,
yeah.
as
Yo,
subtly as humanly possible. But that ultimately, yeah, I mean, obviously, less the whole zombie thing and all that crap,
Hmm.
The Walking Dead
But
themselves.
still, the
But it's the
communities.
truth. Yeah, yep. And you're 100% correct. And you could see that social dynamic and the differences between them because, they're all like minded. Or certain people, of course, have been absorbed into certain groups and they tend to take on the
Hmm.
characteristics of different leaders and people and all that.
Yes,
But yeah, but that's been since the dawn of time,
man, that
So,
would work.
yes,
That would work. Let's go back to that. Everyone could literally choose which camps they go to. Yo, that camp, they like to just run around and get crazy and party all day. I want to be there. I'm
yeah.
there. I'm going to that. The Van Wilder camp. Like you could just choose, and that community has its rules. You follow that rule, you straight. I really think that would work. And even further than that, I was sitting here thinking, having a high thought. I was like, would you consider people that are Amish? Would you consider them anarchists?
And we live right by them, as a matter of fact. And let me tell you what, they are some of the most independent, proud peoples.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, maybe some of their religious views are a bit different, but the fact is that they live a very clean, independent, uh,
Mm-hmm.
a life of self
Community,
work. Yeah, oh yeah, and their
community like
community is tight.
crazy.
Yep,
That's what I'm like. I
exactly.
was there. I was like, yo, that would be if you was to really have like an anarchist like world where we lived in anarchy. It would kind of be like with Amish.
Thanks.
We'll be in these small communities and we will all pitch in. We
Yeah,
wouldn't
you know.
want outsiders messing it up. Like, yo, we over here chilling. We already got ours, everything that we doing. You go over there in your community. Yo, it would be
Well,
dope though,
Well,
because
and
you would vibe.
you know where you can find a lot of that at BX, and I found
Well,
this only about 30 years ago, give or take, because I just grew up in that kind of wilderness, wildlife loving type of family. But in the prepper groups, that's why a lot of us have banded together and we've shared trade secrets and we keep an eye on the markets and we keep an eye on the government and their moves and all that kind of stuff. And of course, we get made fun of all the time. That's true. But the funniest part
hey.
was is that back when, say, the whole coof thing happened, the sweet and sour
Mm-hmm.
sniffles, as it were, uh,
Mm-hmm.
what took place is a lot of people were scrambling for different items, and here all of
Woke
us
they ass
we
up,
were
right?
yeah, we were good to go. We're like, see, that's why there's nothing wrong with buying a little extra of this and that when you can, because at least you got it instead of being reliant on someone, and especially say doing things like growing gardens and stuff. It's good to learn as much as humanly possible while you
Facts.
can, and, but different strokes for different folks, be it
Fam, I've always
it's
by
said that.
like it's like I feel like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm happy as fuck that I was born in '92, cause like it was before all this extra ass shit where you don't have to leave your home to connect with people. Like you still had to get out there. Now this is what I was gonna say earlier. I remember I seen this dude. He said he a pimp. Ain't no telling what this nigga is in life, but I saw him and what he said was, "See, what's wrong with these young cats is they never really been face to face with a person. They never been face to face with a woman. They know how to spit game. They be behind their phones. They be on tag, MySpace and shit. They internet interact. They don't know how to interact with a person in a social gathering in a social setting. So when certain P's and Q's come in check, they absent minded, and when it comes down to where it's time to come down to it. And I was like,
mm-hmm.
that's absolutely correct. And
In
it's
There's
so
fact,
some
fucked
cases where
up
they
that
don't
I
have
actually
to
beat the
though.
curve on it.
Some cases when they don't have to. Is that easy now? I've seen people actually talk to a woman online and get the same objective done. They got the job
Oh,
done
it's
from the
possible, of course.
comfortability from their text. So it's just it's more, or I should say, it's easier to not know how to socially to how to be social and talk to people nowadays for sure. I would 100% say that. But if you got the juice, you got the juice.
Oh, that's true too. But that only falls on a certain select number of people because, as I've found, especially through something like the sponsorship, not everybody has them social skills. Not everybody has the ability
Yeah.
to get up and speak in front of, say, a room of people or give out their story or whatever the case might be. But I do believe that a lot of that also, again, it keeps falling back to how the parents raised them. And that's why I feel
Mm-hmm.
little things like, say, t-ball, and then little league, farm league, and even football or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be every single sport out there, but getting them involved into something that's at least greater than themselves, and they can pick up on those types of social dynamics and those social ways of life, then it will ultimately always help that child in the future, because that's where it starts. And then, but if you take somebody, said a kid that was raised to be inside all the time, and then they get to be an adult, and you start cracking down like, get out there, meet people, go do this, and they're like, well, no, because they've never done it. So really, then the parents got to
Yeah.
hold themselves responsible. So it's why it's just so important
Well,
for that
to
child
some
to have
extent.
somebody that's active to it a certain extent.
I
Mm.
would say to some extent you gotta hold the parent responsible because once you become an adult, all that blaming the parent stuff stops. You got more than enough time to get your ass in
Yep.
there and learn how to
Well,
be social.
I meant more or less
Is
young adult, I should say, because the
I
fact
get it?
is that many, say, 18 to 21-year-olds end up coming back home at least for a year or a couple of years or whatever, while, say,
Yeah,
regrouping. But yeah, that's kind of what I meant. But yeah, you're
I
right.
get it.
Anybody past the age of 21, in my mind, it was like I always tell my boys, if you ever come back around, you got till a certain period of time, but you better get your shit together and do things right, because we didn't raise those slacks, and we definitely didn't raise people that can't, fend for
That's
themselves.
facts. Cause like the way I figured the way I was brought up, my mom was dope, but I still went through my stuff and made my mistakes and ended up in certain circumstances where I was on my own. And there
Of
was
course.
no excuses. And I had to learn how to do certain things. So I do believe that once you're on your own, no matter what brought you there, you might have had a head start, which is what that is. If your parents is teaching you right, you might have an inconvenience where you're a little bit behind. It doesn't matter. That's just how life goes. You got to roll with it.
You're right. You're right. I tell you, there's been more times I've seen people with
It's
adult
fine, sweetheart. I
children at
appreciate
home
it.
that kills me. What's that?
Now I was talking to Chris. She said she had to dip. But it was in chat. Don't worry about it. It's out there.
Yeah, it's all good. As a matter of fact, I just as I was telling BX earlier, I was starting to read the past chat because I'm horrible, especially when I'm on my phone. But anyway, I see the news even brought that up. But The Walking Dead is great for showing the mind of people. Yeah, you're right. Minus the walkers. I'll never forget when my queen picked up on that show. She had to binge watch like, God, one too many seasons. Said I'll just put it at that. It's just, I don't know. I love to be outside. I love working all that. Hell, the whole time I've been talking to you, I've been outside with one of my pups and just walking around. I'd rather be outside, stuck on the TV. But I do get roped in by some series, though. I'll be honest. There's sometimes I'll watch like 3 or 4 shows in a row, and I'm like, damn, what could I have done with that time? Almost my worst enemy, because I always ask myself, what else could I get done? I don't know. I had my years of being a little slack and say just letting certain projects go or whatever, thinking, I'll get to it when I get to it or whatever. But nowadays, you just never know what's coming tomorrow. So kind of got that mindset on high gear
I ain't
right
gonna
now.
lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I say more power to that, but I ain't really. I don't look at where when people get to a certain point. Now it's up to them. They be for everyone, but depending on where I'm at in life, I ain't gonna. I ain't finna look at it where I wish I could. I say you said. I'm just saying me in general. Look at where I wish I could have did more or had done this and that. I'm just gonna keep on going like how it is
Okay.
because I'm just saying like because at the end of the day, we live every day. We only die once, so I'm like fuck it.
Of
I'm in this
course,
hoe.
of course. Oh yeah, don't get it twisted. Usually, when I have a regret about something, I know immediately that all right, I'm going to dedicate this amount of time to this, that, and the third, and I'm going to get something, accomplished or get this done. But oh yeah, I don't, and I preach that, as it were. I preach that to a lot of my sponsees and even fellow sponsors, and even hear it from others as well about just holding ourselves accountable and just trying to be as productive as humanly possible. But you do need your downtime too. You need some time to decompress and relax a bit. And, sometimes some people do it by kicking a few back at a local establishment, having some good dinner or whatever. Or others just like to watch shows or get on with their kings and queens, so to speak, and say do the whole Netflix and chill.
That's my shit. That's my shit. I had to come back for that. Let me see Netflix and chill. You want to see me multitask?
Hey.
Gotta watch my Netflix and
You
chill
PG
games, huh?
13, but fuck it, do you? Yeah, chill.
I'm just saying, my
Yeah,
Oh
bad.
we
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
get
Oh,
cheap
my
for
bad,
this
my
shit.
bad, my bad, my bad.
I was gonna say
Well,
I was
no,
really
that's your
talking about
bad. You knew what you were doing.
My bad. Wait, what's so bad about saying something on Netflix though? We
Yeah,
ain't
well,
seen that.
you know what Netflix and chill means, don't you?
That's not against terms of service. You can say something about Netflix. I can't chill while I watch Netflix. Who knows what I'm talking about? I know what I'm talking about. You think they
What
searching that
could you
up? Netflix and
possibly
chill.
mean?
What
Like,
if you
what
gonna
you
get banned
possibly
for saying that?
mean?
What if you get banned for saying Netflix and chill? Nah, son, that was too much. That was too vulgar. Get up out of here. You
Yeah,
done.
that's too bogus, right?
Netflix, you made it sound like I was
Uh,
banned.
priceless.
Oh, come on, dude.
I was in here like F. Yo, Netflix and chill. No, we ain't had
Hey,
that. No
tell you
Netflix, no
that's
blockbusters.
that's one thing I always know I can do.
Oh,
If I ever have a rough day,
oh.
I could always hang with the Fang Gang and feel better. That's for damn sure.
That's a fact.
Be yourself, nigga. I mean, what the fuck else you gonna be? I'm gonna talk about your motherfucking ass regardless. What the fuck?
Yeah, Mario ain't shit.
Fuck that nigga too.
He like that sometimes.
Most times I
This
just talk
nigga
about
made this shit and just fuck that nigga. You hear
Mario's
me?
Hey.
Mario's half baked. He's all right. You're all right, Mario. You're gonna be all right. Yo, they
Hey.
Damn,
killed
man,
Killer
like,
B.
boy, that's how you feel, nigga. That nigga left. That nigga said, ha. Fat ass nigga, fuck you.
Hey, yo, they
Why
killed
I be
Killer
fat?
B.
Facts.
Nah,
Yo,
but he
this
heard
is
that
half
nigga
baked.
laugh at me.
Yo, this is half baked. Who would Mario be? I know I'm Dave Chappelle. Who would Mario be?
Dude.
Whoever that dude. Oh man, I forget his name now. Damn, the
The
Puerto
dude that be
Rican
mad,
cat.
huh? Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes. F
yeah,
you, F
yeah.
you, F you. You're cool.
You're cool.
F
Fuck
you.
you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
out.
Mario. That's Mario. Fact.
Oh,
I was
God,
like, who
I'll
you
tell the
gonna be,
folks
True?
how it is.
That's fact. Who would you be, True?
Damn. I have no idea. Now, if you ask me back maybe 25, 30 years ago, I'd probably be that weed dealer that Chappelle was visiting. I was off the stick and
Samson?
rocker. Yeah,
I want
there
to
we go.
talk
I'd
to
be saying,
Samson.
I want to talk to Samson. Samson's got the shit. Samson's got the shit, dog.
Samson.
Yeah,
What part of Jamaica? Right by the beach.
I was out of control. I was off the chain, as it were, back in the day. I'm telling you, I was crazy. But then again, where I lived, man, we literally lived about 20, 25 minutes from all the shore points: Ocean City, Wildwood, Ventnor, Margate, Atlantic City. Up to, man, we got in some trouble. I probably should be locked up in many ways, but thankfully.
Oh, True's a gangster.
Oh, no, you ain't allegedly. Fuck all this. Shut the fuck up, True.
Yeah, that's right. But hey,
Ain't gotta be that damn cool.
that's all good. Hey,
We was talking about Netflix. We was on my Netflix show.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Breaking Bad is a motherfucker, ain't it?
We was watching some true crime.
That's right. That's right. And even then, you need physical
that,
evidence over something. You need physical evidence. It's not what you know; it's what you can prove in court.
I gave my female physical evidence.
Ew.
Oh,
How we get to that? We went from Netflix to the Playboy channel real quick.
Damn, Mario.
Does that channel still exist? They don't make no Playboy channel no more.
Description valid, baby. You wanted the free
trial. You got
his
the
mind's out
Playboy
of funny
That's
range.
crazy.
I don't know. I'm just talking shit, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Is Hugh Hefner still alive?
Nah, he died. He finally
Get out of here.
He finally kicked the old bucket.
You get out of here. Don't judge me. It's hard out here for creator when you're trying to get money and dodge the haters.
I'm just rapping. You know Hugh Hefner?
You don't know who
That was your
Hefner is,
homie?
Mario? The self-made man, the owner and founder of Playboy. Come
I
on,
was
man.
joking. He really don't know? That's crazy.
Damn.
No, I don't know what
I
the
was
fuck you
joking, man.
said. I wasn't even listening to the question. You talking about Hugh Hefner?
Oh, yo, this guy said I wasn't even listening to you. That's crazy. I feel you. Hugh Hefner, man.
No,
Hugh
cause your
Hefner.
phone, like, no, my phone was breaking up, and I just heard like such and such. I'm like, what the fuck you asked me? I didn't even know you was talking to me at that point. For real.
No, Hugh Hefner, man. I was asking about Hugh Hefner.
Wait, what's the other good line from Half Baked? Boy, you have smoked yourself retarded.
Half Baked is a classic.
Hey
You know, Dave
man,
Chappelle
leave
hate that
me
movie.
alone, True.
They
I'm
hate
gonna
that
kick
movie.
your ass in the dick. Don't worry about it, True. When a black guy, 5'6", kick you in the dick and headbutt you in your shit, it was me.
Well,
It
see,
was
now
out of
you've
love.
already given me your game plan because you're going to approach the 6'2", and I'm just going to
I'm,
have
I'm
to
gonna put
jack
you the
kick your
same
ass
way. You
right
would
in
never
that.
see it coming. You don't know when, nigga. You'll forget. I probably catch
Man,
you done shitting.
it hit you so hard your grandparents are going to rise and whoop your ass for messing with me in the first damn place. That's what's going to happen.
Well, hell, do me that favor because I want to see him again anyway. But before that happens, I'm gonna kick your ass in your Fuck your ass up. That's what I know.
You don't spoke like that. You got me reminiscing now, man. I think of my family all the time. Boy, trust me, enjoy it while you're young. That's for damn sure.
The
Was
first
that
nigga tell me I got hell, I spoke of it. You spoke of it. I spoke of assaulting you violently. You know what the fuck I said? Don't put words in my mouth. I spoke of it. Yeah, okay, baby.
Man, did I melt your inner snowflake? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Wait,
do
she
that.
said Hugh
Dang
Hefner
it.
died in 2017.
Wait,
God damn.
oh, did he? It's been
Oh
that long
damn.
already? Holy shit, it feels like it was last year. That's why I
Bill
was like, I
Cosby
didn't know.
is turning in his
Well,
grave right
technically it was
now.
last year.
That's
Damn.
crazy. That's
Last,
wild.
last, last.
Wasn't that Bill's homeboy? That was Bill Cosby's best friend, right?
I believe I knew they were pretty close because Lord knows Bill Cosby was out there. Who knows what he was doing? The roof he
He
didn't
said he
have
got the
now.
Spanish fly from him. I heard that in the reports.
Yeah.
He said he got it from Hugh. I was like, what? He got it from Hugh?
Oh, he's so full of shit.
He got the Spanish
Oh.
line true. Oh,
Oh, that's
oh,
sad. No, I didn't say true. I said Hugh. Hugh, man. Hugh.
oh.
So you ain't gonna
Hugh
try to jack
Hefner.
me up with a rap. It ain't
Yeah,
working like
man.
that.
Don't try to do that to him. You trying to Bill Cosby? True? Come on, bro. That's
Hey
foul.
man, I thought he was gonna pop them hoes. I ain't tripping. Hey Cosby, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. do this either.
Uh,
I said, ah, okay.
I'm glad you said that though. You want to talk
I
about a
ain't never asked
lucky
no
son of a bitch?
questions.
Bill Cosby
Come on, man. It was the
should not
70s,
be.
man. Everybody knew it.
Bill Cosby should not be being free right now. There's no. He got lucky as hell that
Fuck out of
the
here.
prosecutors were as dumb as they were. Because man, are you
Let that
kidding me?
nigga eat his motherfucking applesauce, man.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, his old ass. Man, that nigga look like he can eat anything cooked.
Man, let me tell you,
That's
that
messed
man,
up.
he ain't that handicapped. He
Don't
ain't that
talk
old.
because I said it.
He ain't that old.
Hey,
Now.
nigga,
What's he?
that
His 80s?
motherfucker was dying and ghosted. It was outside. Broad day. There was a fog. And he walked into a two-step. Nobody else did the two-step. He was out of sync as hell. Are you telling me that you want that man in jail? Okay, cool. Take his ass to jail. Fine. His ass gonna die. Let his ass out. His ass gonna die. He's on death row regardless, bro. He old as hell. Let the man eat his applesauce, get his own
I'm gonna
juice.
be
This
honest.
shit and piss with his own.
That shit was a technicality, but it was that's the
Yeah.
law, fam. You can't.
Yeah,
They
it
knew they
is.
was
It
what they
is.
was doing. It was suspect, and I do think he got like 2 years left in him max. So
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was either 2 or 2.5 years. Yeah,
I ain't got
but
to with
I
death
guess
for the nigga.
my
Everybody
heart
go get it.
my heart always goes after the victims, though. I guess you know what I mean. And
I
usually
mean,
it's
for
bad
sure.
enough. The legal system is as broke as it is today, where a lot of criminals end up getting out early. Yeah, but I guess
You want me to go there? I'll tell you I think about that shit. I ain't got nothing against it because I've got certain situations that I know personally about that. We gonna put the feelings to the side. Give me a second and put it in my briefcase. All right, we gonna put that to the side right there. Cool. So, feel like if you wait a certain amount of time, I get that there is a certain trauma that may take place. Understandable. Fine, fine. You ain't that Wonder Woman or Superman to come and be that spokesperson to rile you up enough to just speak out on it. That's goddamn right. And I don't knock anyone who support those that do that. And everybody should understand that. And with the right evidence, those should be prosecuted in reasonable time. But at a certain point, especially during or pertaining to the situation, somebody has to be held accountable as well. Because it's still two people. And I'm not saying in all situations, I'd be damned if I'm put that out there. But y'all know what I'm referring to. We can count the Bill Cosby thing. Like at a certain point, not 20 years, not 40 years, not 30 years, not 6 years, probably 5. Because you have certain things called statute of limitations. And if you really but justice and you're offending and such, you would see justice and shit. But I can understand, like I said, I've got some person attached to it, trust and believe. I'm not trying to look down on any victim or anything like that, or victim shame, quote unquote, because that's what they'll call it. But you got to concentrate to certain situations. Somebody has to be held accountable. If you're not holding the person that does it to you accountable, are you really affected by it, or are you looking for cause? Which then, if it's the latter, you're causing those who really find you as liberating. You're making their voice less likely to be taken seriously, which is toxic in itself. So what I'm saying may be harsh, but it's the truth. If you wait too long, it's on you.
Oh, it has its sides of truth, definitely. But I'm an old school type. I feel that if you do the crime, you should do the time. But it has been proven time and time again that our judicial system is, in fact, broken in many different ways. And you do have these very simplistic, boneheaded mistakes that the prosecutors will 9 times out of 10 make, or a very crappy judgment that a judge will render. And unfortunately, it doesn't do the victims justice because, I mean, let's face it, when you get somebody that has taken the love of your life and you're hearing that they're only getting 20 years for, say, involuntary manslaughter or some charge that they have pled it back to, and then they end up getting out on 10 to 13 years on good time, and they're enjoying the rest of their lives while the love of your life is still pushing up daisies. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm an old school, I guess, a biblical type with that. I am an eye for an eye
Oh
type of
no, I don't
individual.
know. There's certain
But I
crimes.
don't know. That could be taken out of context, I guess.
No, I
Yeah, those
agree
two
with you
different
one
things. Though.
million
Those two different
percent. There are
crimes too,
certain
as
crimes
well.
that shouldn't be. Go ahead, my bad, Beast Boy. Go ahead, because you need to speak. Go ahead. What you say?
No, I was just saying that was two different crimes as well. I get what you were
Of
saying,
course.
but the
Mm-hmm.
comparison wouldn't be a proper comparison.
Oh
Because
yeah,
of course, if your
no.
loved one's not
No.
here,
Nope. Oh
of
yeah,
course
definitely.
you wouldn't want to let that go.
Yep. The
Of
level
course
of
not.
the level of incarceration and the time that is rendered by a judge should be in
I think you were just
accordance
speaking on
as per the
limitation.
crime. Yeah. I was just talking in general. I'm just an old school type where, I don't know, and I get that the legal system is the way that it is for a reason to hold not only the defense but the prosecution accountable for any and all of their actions, and I get that. I really do, but I just think it sucks when somebody ends up walking on a technicality, or that some of these charges do get pled down as much as they do. But I guess that,
To
hey,
be
look, I look
honest,
at it this way: at least we have this criminal justice system, because there's many countries that don't even do those types of things. Hell, half the
I
time, most
feel
of them
like
are
there's certain
kangaroo court
crimes.
sorts. So I'm grateful for what we
Yes,
have.
they
To be honest
are.
with you, we always got to work on it, of course, but I'm just grateful for what we have. I digress.
I don't know. Yeah, y'all can let me know, and then before please finish. Y'all can let me know. Are there certain crimes that the statute of limitations aren't valid for? Because I will believe there should be exceptions to that law.
uh,
We
Yeah,
I
gotta
have
look
well,
that
no
up.
idea. No idea. But
you'd
I
have to
do.
you can Google
I
that.
don't.
That's actually an easy one. Sorry, go ahead. Beach.
I was gonna say I don't think the same way people think that the way that he got out was invalid. I don't think the way that he got in was valid, and that still has to hold some kind of weight. On top of that,
Yeah.
the only reason why the attention and target was on him was because of a fucking viral moment from another comedian that was shitting on him on stage. Is that how we want crimes to be done? You got to get a viral moment
Well,
from
I mean, in
someone.
Right.
some
Come
ways,
on.
playing devil's advocate on that, in some ways, unfortunately, sometimes only certain crimes, especially when committed by rich and famous people, are in fact finally noticed and recognized by something that goes viral. So in ways, I mean, there's a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment in there somewhere. I'm sure of it. And
Mm.
it's not always say the best way for something to go about being finally seen. and complained enough that the mainstream picks up on it. But I mean, I don't know. I
It's
believe that
two
it's all
different
God,
comparisons.
God's will.
But that she,
Someone
but that
going
she's
out
not
and
being genuine.
someone going out and making a statement and then it going viral because it's news is different from someone doing a stand-up routine where they keep on throwing the accusations from the past up over and over again until it becomes a viral moment to where it gets talked about, which encourages people like the Me Too movement to
Right.
use this as a source to funnel all that. And on top of that, of all the people that accuse Bill Cosby, you think all of them were telling the truth? Every
Oh
single one?
no, no, and especially not after it got caught by the mainstream media and it went viral. Because of course you've got those people that are tragedy pimps and all that and want to make something out of nothing and want to try to play the victim card themselves to gain
Isn't that
notoriety or
illegal?
their. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's not illegal. That's illegal, right?
That is legal. Yes,
Did
absolutely, it
all
is.
of them did every single one of them that lied get arrested as well?
Well, they should if anybody signs an
Did
affidavit,
they?
affidavit with the complaint and they have broken that law, yes, 9 times out of 10, they are in fact brought before a judge and a trial is to be had because they have in fact broken the law. But unfortunately, again, within
This
this
is the one
day
time.
of internet and all that crap, it makes things a lot harder. I think that many of the police departments, including all the big lettered agencies, are still playing catch up to beef up and create new divisions like cyber divisions and all that to regulate these kinds of things because now in this day and age of the internet, it's given anonymity to many that are out there making false allegations and all that. And then when, of course, it becomes a big deal and they're brought before a prosecutor or somebody like that, and they're starting to be questioned by detectives, then they'll usually recant or will change the story. But the damage is already done because say it went viral yet again. And now you got all these new charges that people have just spoken crap about. And now, oh, whoops, I'm sorry. But then the whoops, I'm sorry never gets the same amount of attention as the original allegation. So, yes, you are, in fact, compounding on somebody's misery that they're already suffering because all these further allegations have been put out there, especially if a person's innocent. That's what really bothers me when people make all these allegations via the internet. And then it feels, I should say, like they get away with bloody murder by sitting there, saying, oh, well, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But yet, no, yeah, you were just spending 2 and 3 hour live streams putting out all these allegations. Like, where's the justice in that? You know what I mean?
My
But
man
yeah,
just pulled a Mario on me. I feel you. God damn, Drew, you killed that. Ain't nothing else
even the
for me
sun,
to say about it. He
even the
broke down
sun
all the
shines on a
points.
dog's ass. Some days. What movie is
Yeah,
that?
I
You
don't
you
even
know?
remember
I know
which
you know.
one.
White man can't jump. Even the sun shines on a
Um,
dog's ass. Some days.
Woody Harrelson. But yeah, you pretty much hit all the points, man. You answered all the questions before I asked them. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
the
I
This
think
shit
question,
I think
crazy
we
out here, bro.
yeah, we got a long way to go. That's one thing I will agree with everybody by, and not every crime is seen through the same perspective by others. But unfortunately, I feel that if, again, it goes back to that in my original statement, I just feel that everybody does commit these crimes. They should, in fact, be held accountable. But hey, again, we are still such a relatively young nation, compared to so many others. There's still a lot of things that we're working at. I mean, you look at some of these other foreign countries where they actually stone their women to death or they'll kill somebody over the wrong, love that they have in their lives. So it's, yeah, I'm grateful for what we have here in the United States. I definitely am. Trust in
I
that.
definitely agree with that shit.
system's flawed.
America, a motherfucker. Like, I don't know, like, bro, like, okay, so boom, we gonna dash off that, but I still feel like yeah, but no, and I agree with that whole notion, but I still want to make sure that I know that motherfuckers need to understand that sadly due to the statute of limitations, I get that a lot of people do be held unaccountable for certain crime things that they may commit, and that's not fair for the. But at a certain
Yeah.
point, I believe that that we should create environments or these zones where, or at least make it more known where these zones and environments are located within each city and area and district, where such unfortunate victim may be able to reach out sooner rather than later. So there won't be more victims, and it won't be, well, he hurt me, let him hurt you type of mentality. Because I believe people have that type of thing too, but we don't really talk about that as a society. and that's mostly a more inside the family type of situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it is easy to Google what the statute of limitations are for different crimes. I do know that. And they do change depending on if the crime was a state offense or a capital offense. You know, if it's federal or state charges, you know, there's always different limitations that are set forth. And they do change because I do remember I read in more than a few publications where they had upped the statutory limitations for things like rape and murder in many different states. So, and I believe, like, say,
Hmm.
capital murder, that's forever. You don't like, so if they catch you or whatever, if you're one of the FBI's most wanted or what, yeah, they'll never. There's no statute of limitations on something like that. But I believe the old rape charge, and in fact, was influenced by all that nasty crap that happened with the Catholic churches just a couple of decades ago. I believe that was also increased because it used to be like either 5 or 10 years, and now I think in some states it's 15 to 20, if memory serves me correct. But yeah, again, we're a learning people, and especially as our society is, we're ever evolving and adapting and moving forward. So at least that's a good thing.
I mean, it's shameful to be. Oh, and I'm not mocking. I'm just using this term to prove a point in how we are a learning nation. It's sad to say that we're learning people when it takes just now in 2021 for us to really think about what really is the appropriate age for certain things. Because in certain states, some people can get married at 14 and 13.
Yeah,
And in
well,
certain states, no. Some
it
people can
depends.
get married at 16 and 18. And then it's ridiculous because in all those states, most of the tobacco limitation age is, I don't
I
know.
don't know
And
where
then
this is
hold up,
going.
limitations are oh, you ain't never know nothing about that. You look up in certain states. I think North Carolina just changed that. I think
Oh no,
they
no. I
raised
said
it
I don't
up
know where
from
this is
13
going.
to
I ain't.
16.
I just said to break it down to me again. I said I don't know where this is going. The whole
I'm
thing.
just
This
going
is
on
this is
how we
scaring
are.
me.
I'm just going on how we are ignorant nation who believes that we got a lot of things figured out, but that just proves that
Okay.
we still learning from previous generational bias.
No, you're right. You're right. But see, that right there is the mindset that I used to have for quite some time. But these topics and issues had been spoke on for generations. You know, from back in the hippie days during the Vietnam War and all that good stuff. You know, you had a lot of people, and when social justice warriors were actually social justice warriors and not just ranting lunatics all the time. And granted, yes, of course, the society was different as a whole back then. People wearing little to nothing, going around even the nudists running all over the place. I mean, but hey, it is what it is. It is whatever blows your hair back. But again, at least we are evolving at a very magnificent rate in my point of view. And I know there are many out there that say, well, no, F that because this happened bad and that was bad and all these other things happened. Well, but at least now we're finally recognizing these things. And they have, in fact, it, we haven't had the prospect of change before the internet was around. Okay. And ever since the social media platforms have become huge, they have also helped in molding our society in many different ways, because again, we the people means something. Okay. And as a whole, our population should be what dictates and determines our laws and our current society as a whole. Be it, of course, and you got the social norms and all that crap thrown in there. But the point is that when you leave all of that to the government by itself, that's what gets us in trouble. Because now we don't have the
Right.
power anymore. And I think this is why people forget that you still do have power over the people that you elected. You can call them SOBs every single stinking day. I know some preppers that actually do that. They'll call the Congress, they'll call the White House every single stinking day, giving their voice and their opinions on things and all that. We just got to hold these people accountable so we continue to step forward in life and grow in a good way instead of this negative ass way. And that's why I don't know if any of y'all have noticed, but that's why a lot of this thing, such as like the Me Too movement and a lot of the other different movements that were started and when they started going awry, people now are starting to call certain areas of those organizations out And now some of them have even kind of faded and off the mainstream media. Well, that's when usually the media doesn't want you to know about it because their overlords want to control the narrative by whatever means necessary. I'm telling you, it all comes down to balance. It really is. And you have to keep
Hey,
an open
man.
mind and just take life like a grain of salt. You really do. You just really have to focus on yourself, keep working on yourself, and just when you focus on those different issues such as law and politics and all that good stuff, just make your voice be known. Just sit back and be silent about something. That's where the most evil happens. Because if you're not
See,
if you're not
and there it
involved in
is
it,
right there. No, I was about to say, and that's where it is right there. If you, that's what I said. Like that's what I believe, and I know my one person's beliefs damn sure don't dictate everyone else following. But I
of
feel
course,
like if you take care of yourself more, then you'll be able to help others that may need it in a more feasible and comfortable, non-compromising position where you both will continue to benefit. Because if you continue trying to pull someone else without proper footing, you risk falling over.
that's true. Well said. Well said. Got to keep helping each other, keep stepping forward. When life gets you down, you just got to know when to reach out. I understand that everybody needs their own little amount of time to, grieve or whatever the situation is, to try to get over some bad negative
I'm
crap that
sure on
happens in
that.
life. But yeah, you got to make sure you got a good support
Oh,
system.
and on that, when it comes to trauma and shit, and depending on whatever the fuck a person goes through, people need to learn just to back the fuck off. And
Yeah,
that's
that's true
hard for
too.
me to do. Because even when it's not an issue, I won't bag the fuck off. I still be like, bro, what's going on? Come on now, talk to me. It's just me. Cause but you gotta learn just to bag the fuck off. Because when it's time. And if it's never time, it's never time. But your time is valuable because you're still spending time. Regardless of how you put it, regardless of how you see it, at the end of the day, you're there, which you don't have
Yeah,
to be.
yep, you're right, and I'm
And,
so
and,
glad you
and
said
people
that.
don't want to understand that because a lot of people are not even there for themselves.
Yeah,
They
you're right.
need other validation.
Yeah,
But
I'm glad
I'm
you
going
said
too
that.
far on that.
No, no, hell, man, you ain't gone far enough. Trust me, Vandy. You said it a very, very good way. People do need to know when to leave well enough alone. If people want your help, they will reach out. If you have the feeling, like say, if you've got a friend that you've spoken to like every other day, every 3 days, at least once a week, and all of a sudden they go quiet for 3 or 4 months, and then you get word that they're thinking of harming themselves or something like that, then yeah, definitely step forward, do whatever you can possible.
Oh
But the
yeah.
people that say just suffer a loss, and then they're getting nonstop calls and all that left, right, and center. Yeah, people got to have a little bit of common sense to know just to give people room to do their own thing. And when they're ready, trust me, they'll let you know they're ready. That's actually one of the things we got to
Mm-hmm.
know in the sponsorship. You have to know when to be involved and then when to back the hell off. Because if you don't, you can actually hurt their recovery process more
And
than
let me add this two
I like
cents,
you.
and then I'm gonna
Go
go
ahead.
right back to listening because y'all killing it, right? If I'm depressed, and we all get our little depressed bag,
of course.
I don't like
Talk
being hit
about it.
up nonstop and having people contact and reach out. I like to eat fried chicken in my drawers and watch Netflix. I can't do that if you keep hitting up my phone. You need to let
Smoke
me
your
relax,
green.
brother. Like, let me pick it up. Like, fam, sometimes I treat contacting people like it's a full time job. Like, to where I literally don't answer calls or text messages or nothing until like 9 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm like, all right, cool. And then after 5, I go right back to my modes where if I'm not streaming,
Back to five.
I'm trying to relax. I
yeah,
force myself to relax. So it's the way the world works. People sometimes they want people to be their pet projects. Of I
yes.
want to be the person that make you feel better because it makes me feel better. And it's like, no. Like anybody that watched Fight
Yeah.
Club, y'all saw Fight Club?
Hell yeah, the first
Yes.
rule. What's the first
Okay.
rule? Yeah, let me know.
Remember, we don't talk about Fight
Don't
Club,
talk
right?
about it.
Second rule, we do
That's right.
not talk about Fight Club. Third rule,
Talk about Fight
everybody
Club.
fights on their first day. Yeah, that's my shit. I watched that movie 1,000 times. I might watch it again tonight, man.
Yeah, that is an awesome movie. But but
yeah,
but go ahead
Amazing,
with your thought because you
amazing
was on
movie.
yeah,
something
my
there.
bad. Go ahead.
But in that movie Fight Club, what did he do before he found fighting or oh my man, what's his name? Tyler Durden. He was going to these therapy sessions and hearing other people's sad stories and comforting them.
Yes.
And that made him feel
Mm-hmm.
whole inside to where he slept better at night. I will
Yes.
not allow someone to sleep better at night off of my emotion.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Mm.
That's messed
And
up.
the
You know?
gratification that you was there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
and there
like,
are a lot of
nah.
people like that. Yeah, and I've heard them on some live streams sometimes talking about, yeah, and I was there for this one, and yeah, and then oh, I reached out to that one, and you find that it's always those ones that are the name droppers, and then like,
Mm,
wow,
That's
do you not have enough self awareness to see that you're making yourself look like a jackass right now?
that's a fact. That's a fact.
and
When certain
see,
situations
it just
happen, oh
goes.
god.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say when certain situations have happened, and the only time I think I even mentioned that I checked on somebody was to tell everybody they're good.
Yeah,
You ain't gotta worry about them. They strong. Yeah, we talked and they confirmed it. They got this. That was the only time I ever said anything like that. Like oh, I want to check on them. And I think sometimes people their intentions are not really good hearted.
yep, and you've covered more than
Right.
a few like that, even in and
Yeah,
around the damn communities. Yep,
that's a fact.
truth.
It's that foolhardy notion where the intentions seemingly noble, but they go about a fool's errand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See, this is where I go to that, and I'm gonna cut it dry with it. It's very, very sad with that we live in a society, and I'm speaking more on myself when I say it, because this is more of a reflection. Because I like to check myself before I deposit anything in the bank, baby. Because ain't no check I write I can cash, baby. You hear me? It just comes down to it that you have to know when, where, and why you are doing such that and is. What I mean by that, we live in a world where people want to go with emotions. Spoken that before. We want to be ignorant to the truth because that don't go with our statement, so I don't listen. Or the best part about it, well, since I didn't learn that from anybody else, how the hell you know this?
yep.
That's the saddest part about society because how can you grow as a people when you refuse information without any feasible proof that this information is reputable? It's almost like you have. It's like I think half the population wouldn't exist. Majority of the population wouldn't exist if it was popular to believe you have to answer one question exam to breathe, and that is demonstrate how to breathe. That's the only thing people have to be
Yeah.
busy thinking.
That, hey, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm telling you, you are. I do. I feel that there is such a level of entitlement nowadays, and I feel that especially since the invent of all this thinking social media and all the clout and money and everything else people can make from it, they sadly have lost their ways, and especially to those out there that think they're stinking life coaches and all this and that and the other. Yet you're banging on your stinking desk talking about throwing, the CUNT words and all this kind of crap out there. I mean, really? Really? Like, do these people not know or realize that others can see their actions and then obviously know their actions to be anything but pure and actually
but,
noble and
but
decent
what
and
ways they
kind? Like
lost
that's
though?
crazy to me. That's absolutely insane to me that
But
some
what
act that
ways
way.
they lost though? Them ways was yours. Them ways then I found another way in my own generation. Them ways mine and Beast Boys. But then Kyra found some ways in her generation. Them ways for Kyra's and Pixies. But
Oh
that
yeah,
don't
well,
mean
yeah,
everyone in the generation will have the same. I'm not disagreeing, but that just goes to divide. And how it's even harder to connect because we
right, right.
refuse to find common ground
Yep,
because
no, that's
that's too
true.
much.
But see, but what I was referring to was is those that are looking to make a dime off of the drama and all that kind of stuff, and then try to think that they are going to be effective and actually being helpers with other people out there in life that need said help, be it through addiction recovery care or just general everyday, feel good type sessions. I mean, it cracks me up to see, and I don't even say it cracks me up anymore. It's been actually enraging me to see so many of these scumbags out there trying to capitalize off of people because they put it out there like they are the go-to. Like, oh
but
look, I'm
true.
rich, I'm famous, I'm all this, I'm all that. You've got to trust me
It's
because
been snake
I'm all
oil
these
salesman
things.
all the
But then
time,
you,
brother.
but that's why I also tell people too. I always tell people before you invest your valuable, only once lived, God-given time with anybody. You do your research and make sure that person is actually meant for you, because I believe in our heart of hearts, where there's a will and there's always a way, and God will speak to you in some ways, be it through just even just waking up and saying, oh, that feels good today, that feels right, I think I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But you got to make sure you do your due diligence, because these people are wolves in sheep's clothing. They want to sit out there and pounce on any opportunity they got, just to be like, oh yeah, I got these subs, I got this money, I got this clout, I got you. Bitch, you ain't got shit. Shut up. Because anybody would have a
Best
brain
snake
can
oil
see you
salesman
trying to manipulate
every
people into
generation.
your shit. I'm sorry, Mark. Sorry, I got on a rant there. What you saying, Mario?
No, you right. I would just say been snake oil salesman every generation, in all times of life, in all walks of life. It has
Yeah,
been
yeah.
someone who won't, who even unintentionally, we can go ahead and play devil's advocate. Yeah, there's that term again. That just didn't intend to be that person, yet here was the prime blueprint of how to be a better jugger, finesser. My name is Finessing D, and this is my guy Linthead. We gonna get over on you fuck niggas. It's not hard to do it when we see that you need someone to influence it. Just gonna find what you need influencing and just make a lie and you can cope with it, but we getting paid. And
Right.
you getting the same information you got about nothing. But you don't know that. You getting confirmation on your fears and your doubts.
Yep. Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
gonna tell you
You're right.
guys something. A harsh reality that I realized recently. These people
What's
that are
that?
getting taken advantage of, man.
It's
Majority
somewhat.
of them don't care. They
Yeah.
don't care. They
Mm.
want that shit. They
Yep.
want it. If it gives them
Yeah.
a place to cry, make them feel better temporarily, even though they know it's temporary, they don't care.
Yeah, you're
They
right.
don't, fam. There's been plethora of times in all different types of industries where someone will come out with the truth, like, "Yo, you see what the hell's happening right there?" And people are like, "Man, shut up." I didn't hear that. I'm trying to step to the name of
Watch a
love. Step
man
to the
shut
name of
up.
love.
Yeah, you damn right too. And
It
BX
happens
almost
all the time. Man.
BX almost sounded like that homie. It was like, "Hey yo, Smokey back here taking a shit."
Yeah, that's what I was trying to imitate.
But
Shut up,
but
That's
you're
what I was
Smokey.
right.
trying to imitate.
But man, you're damn right, BX. And you know what? I'm also glad you said that, because maybe this is a little bit more of my history studying side about to speak. But ever since the dawn of society, the dawn of humanity, for whatever reason, many people have actually looked to leadership. They have looked to kings. And even though, of course, there's always a handful of people that can't stand any kind of leadership, and thus, obviously, the advent of anarchy and people wanting to do things their own way and have an equal system and all that. But the fact is that many people want to be led. So when they find these people, they feel, oh, yeah, they're speaking in my tongue. They're speaking in from my frame of mind. I'm going to go ahead and hop on that. I'm going to be with that person. I'm going to follow that person. And they just don't realize after a while, even when certain of their little mentors and stuff change up, they don't realize they're being so misled, because they're just so used to sucking up all their stinking crap, and they're just there for the good time and the mob mentality. Oh, but all my friends are there. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. My mom always had a good old saying, and I've carried it with me till today. We have taught our children by it in the whole 9 yards, and that is, you are the company that you keep. Period.
Yes,
Period.
Lord.
That's true. I don't chill with stupid people.
And
I'll let you know that
but
right
why,
straight up.
why ruin a good thing, BX? Why ruin a good
Damn.
thing, True? See, that's how this
BX.
society thinks. It's easier to believe that. Why ruin a
True.
good thing? Because it's easier, more comfortable, more secure to know that I'm going with somebody else to believe that I can make sound like mine. Because you can make anything sound good or bad in your mind.
Man, watch
Yeah,
Fight
you're
Club.
right.
That's what
You're
I
right.
advise. Watch Fight Club.
Yeah, you're right. And
I'm
BX,
telling you,
BX,
let it go.
you had a killer merch idea right there. I can't either.
What?
Well, one of two things: either I can't chill with stupid, or I can't get with stupid. One or the other. Man, yeah, there you
Yeah, I
go.
don't hang out with stupid. I don't talk
I
to
don't hang
stupid.
out
There's
with
a
stupid.
lot
There
of
you go.
there's a
Yeah,
lot. But yeah, that's what I always say. Watch the movie Fight Club, because the metaphor within that movie is so deep. To telling people to like
Oh,
let
yeah.
go of these society standards, man. One reason why people act like that is because they're afraid of what the rest of what people will say. Society standards, man. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's another movie called what was it called? I think it's called Gattaca. Y'all gotta watch that. Ethan Hawke.
Ooh.
Gattaca, man. Yo, true. I know you heard of that.
yeah, I have. Man, it's actually been a little while since I've seen it though.
Gattaca is a
It,
classic, fam.
yeah,
It's really
yeah,
dope. Super metaphorical, pretty much in the future or in this world,
Yep.
babies are genetically made to where they
Yeah. Yep.
automatically are strong. They automatically don't get sick. They're
Yep.
tall, good looking.
And
And
then,
one
yeah,
kid, I guess his mom decided, nah, I want to have a natural birth. So pretty much his whole life, he was shitting on and told that he wasn't going to be nothing.
yeah.
And
And then
and
he
pretty
and
much when he was racing his brother, which he always used to race him in swimming, he beat him one day because he was like, F the pain, F me feeling tired. I don't care if my lungs feel like they about to pop. I'm going to keep swimming. And somehow he ended up beating his genetically altered brother. Why? Because it was really mental state. Once his brother saw that he was passing him or keeping up, he broke.
yep.
And that's just the intro of the
Damn.
movie. Eventually, he finds a plan. Once he does that, it inspires him to live his dream that everyone kept telling him that he shouldn't do, which is be an astronaut. But the way he did it was he worked for a company that pretty much was the NASA, and hired someone to switch bodies with him or switch DNA
Yeah.
with
Yeah. And
them. Someone
then that.
that used to be genetically altered that ended up becoming paralyzed because they won second place in the Olympics and tried to kill themselves.
Yep.
Second place was too much.
Damn.
What? I'm not number one.
Yep.
So like the whole movie's a metaphor in society in the way people think.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. I think a lot of movies nowadays. Well, I wouldn't say
A
a lot, but you can
lot.
always find those movies that will give you those types of lessons if you but just open your eyes and ears and you
Fam,
know.
they be hitting me. I watched that episode of Community the other day about emotional manipulation. I
Crazy.
bet you don't even remember that. You don't remember when they did the episode when they had the ranking system? They had a new app where you could rank, give your person 5 stars.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
sure,
And
the
they was
black
ready
girl
to take it away
was
or something shit.
the some shit like that. But the black girl kept using emotional manipulation to get everybody to rank her 5 stars. And whenever somebody would rank her less, she'd be like, "Look, this person gave me 4 stars. I'm sad. I got 2 kids. I don't know how I'm going to survive." And everybody would give that person a bad ranking on some mob mentality. Yo, fam, messages with everything
Man.
you talking about are all in TVs, movies. It's because the directors and writers are trying to tell y'all something, but majority of the time we not seeing it.
Yes.
True. Are
You're
you
Yep.
just not
chopping
noticed,
trees?
or at
True.
least you're not forced to notice it.
So
True.
what's that?
Are you chopping on a tree? What's happening?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not.
is it that loud? I'm sorry. I was
What was
trying
he
to keep.
doing?
I was trying to keep quiet. I was actually moving some wood around. I'm getting ready to.
Okay.
Getting
I
ready
heard
for some.
your ass the whole time, Shu.
Damn. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry. You
knew.
should have
I
said
knew it was
something.
wood. I thought it
Holler at me.
was. I thought he was chopping a tree. I think he was, I was like,
Damn.
oh, he getting crazy over my man lumberjacking.
Oh yeah, I've done plenty of years of that.
He said,
Oh
we
yeah.
building for the zombie apocalypse.
Oh
But
no.
yeah,
Why not? Get the fire stopped.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of messaging in movies, man. When it comes to what we're talking about now, have you ever watched Mr. Robot?
Mr.
Mr.
Robot.
Robot. No.
Yeah,
That
yo,
sounds familiar, man. It's been
man,
years.
that shit will
Nigga
mess
got a
your
whole
mind
lot of
up. That
movies on
wasn't.
your damn
That's not a
Discord we
movie.
can watch, nigga. I tell you that.
That's a TV show that came out a few years ago with I forgot this dude's name. He played Freddie Mercury in
Oh
the Queen
yeah,
movie.
I know who you talk about, and that's probably why. Because honestly, I
Yeah,
haven't seen no
yeah.
news.
Fam,
I haven't seen hardly any new series in the past few years. I've seen
fam,
maybe but a handful.
he had a TV show called Mr. Robot, where pretty much he's like this genius ass hacker that people keep trying to manipulate to join their crew. And eventually he joins a crew called F Society, where they like going against the government. It's crazy because the whole show, it's like him narrating it to you, his imaginary best friend.
Right, right, yeah.
Like no, like literally. Let me say that one more time. He's aware that you're imaginary because he's fucking crazy, but he's talking to you the whole show. Oh my god, do you see what they just did? Wait, can you see this too?
That's
Or is this in
right.
my head? It's crazy, bro. Like the whole show and everything is like super twisty. I would say the second season was better of a twist than Sixth Sense.
Damn, really?
It smacks you upside the head, man.
I know Sixth
Because
Sense, so
you
that
forget that
sounds.
the whole show you're watching is not from a reliable source. This dude is clearly schizophrenic. He's imagining you.
Shit.
So stuff that we see, it's like we saw it, but it's just in a different. It's crazy. You got to watch it. but they come at the government, emotional manipulation, all that stuff in that TV show.
It sounds
It goes
exactly
hard.
what started it.
Hey, this guy beat the robot.
Mr. Robot. You should see a picture of like some
Okay.
like a mask with a mustache because they do like news announcements like we're taking over the internet. Blah, 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 blah. We're gonna hack this bank account and destroy these. It's pretty much them doing Fight Club from hackers' standpoint.
Damn.
So
Yeah,
imagine
I'm
like
gonna
a
have to
Fight
catch
Club
it.
for hackers,
And
and the
that's
main
it.
character is schizophrenic and
And
don't know what the
that's
hell's happening.
that's a series on Netflix. You said?
It was on USA. I think it ended. It had like 3 seasons.
Okay.
Crazy ass show, but it was like award winning.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch that. I like those types of things, especially when they're so close and parallel to reality. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because especially nowadays, I'll never forget when I just saw another interview by what the heck's his name, Elon Musk, who he was still warning about the dangers of AI and all that good
He get
stuff.
too real.
Tell you, man, it
People not
really
ready to
is.
hear Elon Musk. He don't lie. He straight tell you, no laugh, no joke. Oh yeah, people gonna die.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
will die. Like people like, ha ha. He's like, no, I'm not joking. The first few hundreds are gonna die, but we will get to space.
Oh,
I'm
you're
like,
right.
yo, this man is crazy.
You know you got power and you've built yourself up to an icon when but one sentence out of your mouth can influence the whole damn stock market, especially when it's concerned with crypto coin or that cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that dojo
It's
or whatever coin they were banking on, he would say a line during Saturday Night Live. And everybody was sitting
yeah.
there waiting with bated breath. I had people call me up. Oh, true, man, you got to get in this. You got to order this. You got to order that. This Dojo coin, man. Elon Musk. I'm like, no. I'm sorry. I
Nah.
can't trust in anything that I can't, see it, touch it, smell it, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm
So
like,
you
nope.
go with the Warren Buffett
Yeah,
routine.
exactly. Yeah, I'll tell you.
All right.
Hey,
I said that they didn't know. Thank you, True, because I said that earlier. They didn't know who I was talking about. Thank you. You and your Warren
I
Buffett
know who
friend.
Warren Buffett is, but I didn't know what you were
Exactly.
saying at that time.
The snowball effect.
I was going to tell you what, Warren Buffett has some of the, you want to talk about a
Genius.
legacy. That man, I'm telling you, you can read any one of the books about him or of him or even his own. I'm telling you, yeah, there's a lot of thought behind what that man did. And of course, everybody makes mistakes too. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But Elon
Who,
Musk,
Warren Buffett? Oh, yeah, nice.
man, I tell you what, man built himself up from nothing. I was watching a bio on him, and he was just some little techie when he first started. Barely got like 2 pennies to rub together, and really a rags to riches type of story. He ended up investing into one app that he ended up selling for like $30 million, and then he took that 30 million and he invested it. And then I'll never forget he had an interview saying something about I've got one of the biggest decisions to make in my life. Should I take the 30 million that I earned and invest it into one company or both companies that he was running at the time?
What
And
app?
here he made the split, and now he's one of the wealthiest men in the world.
What app?
I forget the name, but it's easy. You can see it. He just did a big podcast on Joe Rogan Experience, and they played a clip of that when he was sitting there with him. But he that's how he got his pretty much his rise, because he, as a computer guy, had developed this app, and like I said, it's easily Googled. He sold it for 30 million, I believe, was the actual cost of it. And then the next step of his life or his business life, when he had to decide whether to invest all of that money into one business that he had or both, and then he chose both, and that's what obviously, and of course, obviously,
What app? I'm trying to find out what app was it.
yeah, I can't remember the damn name. Weirdest part is I just saw that, but 3 days ago, and I already forgot the name of the damn app. I'm telling you, it's right there.
I'm pretty sure
If
I
it
can
was on the
see
Joe Rogan
it.
podcast, probably can look it up on that, but I don't know.
PayPal.
Yeah, thank you. Yep,
PayPal.
I knew it was a
It was
semi-big one. I
PayPal. I don't know.
couldn't
I was
remember
thinking
which one.
Amazon in my head. I'm like, I know it's not Amazon. It was
No, he
PayPal.
would have held on to that. I'm sure he would have. If he did that, I'm
Yeah.
sure he would have held on to that. Anybody could
I
see
totally
that was
forgot
a
about
cash
that. He
cow.
made PayPal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my
But
man.
imagine,
And I really
yeah,
give him respect for putting respect on Nikola Tesla's name. That's what I really give him credit for.
yeah.
Because without
Now
him, I
you're,
don't think a lot of people would have really knew who Tesla was, man.
yep, you're
Wait, you
right.
know who Tesla is, Mario?
Yeah, I'm over nigga attest to who Thomas Edison put on.
Do what?
You said he was what?
What'd you say
I
there?
said I know of Nikola Tesla who Thomas Edison messed over.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
There
The
you
big
go.
corporate powers done boned his ass because otherwise
Swoop
we would
him.
have free electricity today versus the paid Edison slash Jefferson slash, oh, yeah, bunch of scumbags. I'm sorry,
Man,
not
F
Jefferson.
Edison, man.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, that really
F
pissed me off.
Edison. When I found that out, you know how many times that happened, fam? I was just watching the biography of Madam C.J. Walker. Did you know that
No,
she stole the formula?
no shit. Yeah.
That's fucking, and they put it in the video. They put it in the movie as if that shit was just normal and tried to praise her at the end, like she still did all these amazing. I'm like, well, no, you ain't gonna skip over that. She stole the
They took
fucking
over it.
formula and then told the girl, "So what? Nobody gonna believe you. You could take the formula, but I still have the company." What? And we praising her? Like, I don't care. That's foul. A lot of these, like, people don't want to talk about all these famous people that did the nastiest and grimiest things to get to the
Oh,
top.
of course not.
There's a lot of them in music too. Oh, you don't even want to get me started. Jay Z foul, and I'm never
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
to get a
President
record
fine.
deal with anything Jay Z related now because they have ways of tracking this. I don't give a damn. Jay Z is foul.
No, you're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
President is horrible.
Too
Foul
many
and
people.
ruthless.
Too many people have come out to where you thought they was gonna be famous and they disappeared. To years later, they old as hell telling you that Jay Z was the reason why because he blatantly told them, "I'm making it hard for you because you
Yep.
won't sign with me." That's crazy.
Yeah. And
What?
Blackball.
in many ways, that's actually relatable and comparable with who good old Uncle Bill there was. He did the same thing amongst the comedic acts. From a lot of the
Oh,
comedians, that if you
oh,
didn't kiss if you didn't
yeah.
kiss the ring, Bill Cosby was like, nope, you ain't getting past me.
Oh, yeah, that
He was.
gatekeeping. But when it wasn't him, it becomes a new person. It's always
That's
like
true.
that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
I
Kevin Hart was
always that
gatekeeping
way.
for a while. Like there's a few people that was out
You're
here
right. You're right.
gatekeeping once they
Yeah,
hit the top. Like I'm sure Eddie Murphy, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Eddie Murphy didn't gatekeep. If I'm not mistaken, I heard a story where he had somebody fired. Like yeah, these people they be doing that all the time once they get to that level. It's
yeah.
nasty.
Hey,
It's really nasty.
BX, you probably even saw the series I'm about to reference because I can't remember the damn name of it to save my life.
Which
But
one?
it was a series that Seinfeld did, or what's his face, the main actor from Seinfeld, Jerry
Jerry
Seinfeld,
Seinfeld.
yeah, who
That's my
he would
man.
sit in these classic,
Riding in cars
outstanding
with
cars.
comedians.
Yes, yup. Did you
Comedians
see the
riding in
one with
cars.
him and Eddie Murphy? That's actually where I got that Bill
Oh, I
Cosby
didn't see
story
that
from,
one.
dude.
I didn't see
Oh
that
man,
one.
I
The
believe
last
there's
one I
two
saw was
parts.
Tracy Morgan.
There was two parts. I believe he had him
Disrespectful.
on twice, and he gave the whole story. He gave the whole story about the whole being on the comedic scene back in those days, and Eddie Murphy would be in a club at the same time as
Hmm.
Bill Cosby and all that. And he was like, "Yeah, I couldn't deal with it." I was like, "Damn!" But they were being real and raw
Yeah.
as one could be. I was impressed.
Eddie
I
Murphy
don't even
always said
remember how I
that.
found it, but I just saw. I guess I saw
It's
the
probably
names
on
on there.
Netflix, I think. It's on
Yeah,
Netflix.
it was on Netflix. It was on Netflix, but that was about I saw it about 6 or 8 months ago. I guess it was.
Yeah, that's an
But yeah,
award-winning show.
that
Jerry, he
was
be killing
awesome.
it. He
If
be
you ain't
having
seen the
like
Eddie
some of the
Murphy
best
one, see it.
comedians. I'm going to watch it today. Thanks for reminding me. I used to like
No,
that show. Why I stopped watching this? Because it was too many car scenes, bro. Like I'm not really that into cars. I wanted to hear the stories. I got to keep fast forwarding. I don't give a damn about this old school car. I want to hear this comedian tell some stories. I like that. I want to hear comedian stories. Tracy
yeah.
Morgan was like, he was like, "Yo, Jerry, you remember Kramer?" Yo, Jerry was like, "Yeah, I remember him." I said, "They treat Kramer like he's not even a person." He was like, "You
Oh,
remember
after
Kramer?"
that
Yeah,
stuff
I
he did,
remember
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. He
Jerry
pulled
seemed
some.
like, yo, fair. Did you ever see Jerry Seinfeld and Wale, the rapper, do a skit?
Nah, I gotta see
That
it.
was one
I'll
of the
look it up.
funniest, like fourth wall breaking skits. Wale called the magazine and cursed them out back in the day. It was like a famous incident because they didn't put him on top 10 or something like that. So
Right?
he's like, F y'all, I'll come up there with some goons. The skit was him and Jerry Seinfeld drinking coffee. He's like, yeah, man, Jerry, I don't know what to think. And Jerry is hyping him up. What? You don't know what to think? You need to call them right now. Say you want to speak to the top of the top. The top. He said, who's on the list before you? He said, Ariana Grande. He said, I know who that is. That was a drink I ordered at Starbucks. He said, who else? Jay-Z. Jay Zimmerman? Jay-Z, I went to high school with him. He's not better than you. He's not better. If you say Jay-Z's better than you, I'll rip this desk off the table. Yo, Jerry was going crazy. He's like, that's not me, Jerry. That's not. No, you called him and you said you want to talk to the top. You talk to the. It was mad funny because it's like the rapper's acting mad humble. Like, no, Jerry, that's not my style. I just want to chill. No, you better call them and you curse them out right now, Wale. I was like, that's the funniest thing I ever seen. Like, imagine if I spazzed out and I do a skit and you see like Dave Chappelle talking to me like, this what you gonna tell him. You
Yeah.
tell him, kiss your ass. Like,
I was going to say that reminded me of the David Chappelle Wayne Brady skit. Man, I'm telling you,
yes,
Dave Chappelle, they did that. He's like, go get my money.
that was perfect.
Break yourself.
I watched Wayne Brady talk about that. He said that was like one of the best moments ever because he felt offended when the skit first came out because he's like, yo, everyone keeps doing those jokes. Like, I'm not black. I'm black. So when they asked him, yo, you want to come and, do this one skit? He said, hell yeah. Let's show him how black I am. I was like, that's gangster.
Yeah,
Yes, man.
yeah.
Gangster. He got tired of the jokes.
Dave Chappelle had a way about him. He could piss off everybody in the industry, but yet make them laugh at the same time. And when he did that R. Kelly
Kelly
skit,
ain't
man,
laugh.
I'll tell you, it's like, yeah, I
R.
was out
Kelly
there.
ain't laugh.
He says, how you going to go making a video about pissing on somebody? He's like, didn't you piss on somebody?
He's like, nigga, how you gonna make a video with you pissing on somebody? That's what it was. Yeah, Dave Chappelle is a genius, man. Like, I watch a lot of his old stuff. He's like top 5, like in history to me.
Yeah,
Dave
yeah,
Chappelle.
he's up there for me too. And I love nowadays. And we couldn't do this 20, 30 years ago, but nowadays you can actually get into their lifestyles and get into their history and hear it directly from them on their podcasts and all these different things. That's why I love doing that too. Like my mom would always say, you can't get to where you're going if you don't know where you've been. And for any young up and coming, anybody that's into comedy or anything like that, or even if you just want to know a little bit about history, it's so cool to watch some of these actors and comedians that you looked up to as a kid or as a youngin', and you're like, damn, so that's what it was really like, huh? Because it ain't all jokes and games all the time.
Hell no, it's real.
They got their hard ass work.
That's what I was. I used to watch this show. You probably remember it. I think it was called like the Green Room. It has like a comedians at a round table.
Yeah, yep.
And they all just like talking and I used to love that show
because
it was just them chopping
Patrice
up.
O'Neal was on that too, wasn't he?
Yep, Patrice, Roseanne.
Yeah,
a few people, a few heavy hitters was on there, and they was like keeping it real.
I can't remember all the other ones, but I remember it was Patrice and Roseanne was on the same one, and man, it was killing me.
My favorite episode.
Dying.
My favorite episode. Like that was the most ruthless conversation. Like no one was pulling punches. Patrice was frying everybody ass up.
Oh man, I missed
killing
that, man.
Roseanne.
He was an icon, man. Far too before his time was he taken. I'll tell you, all the good ones get got.
There's people that's running with his formula now. Like there's people that's running with his formula, but they give him homage. They give respect to Patrice.
Yeah, some do. I've seen others that still try to steal it and all that, but they everybody knows where it comes from. You know what I mean? Any person with a decent ear, especially for comedy, will know. Oh no, and that's how that what's his face? That's how Carlos Mencia got called out. What was it? Joe Rogan's matter was the one that called him out over at the Laugh Factory. It was like, nah, man, you keep stealing everybody else's work. And then he started saying exactly what Carlos was going to say, and everybody's like, boo, boo that man.
And then what was he going to do? Beat up Joe Rogan? There was nothing he could do.
Nah,
in fact, I remember
he would have smoked
he said something when Joe Rogan approached him on stage. His response was, "I'm more entitled to that joke because I'm Spanish."
Mm-hmm.
But he stole the white dude's joke. And he was like, "No, I'm Spanish, so I can say that." I was like, "Get out of here, man! A joke is a thief is a joke thief, bro." Let me keep it real. I believe the Louis C.K. incident can happen with Dan Cook. When Dan Cook stole his jokes by accident.
Yeah.
It's possible. Nah, that's possible. It's pretty much. Right. I forgot what the term is, but it's like when you hear a joke. What's her name did it too? Gabby Hanna. She did it to Louis C.K. When you hear a joke, and then while you doing your own thing, you forgot that you even heard that joke. So you come up with that, you like, oh, that's funny, and let me write that down. And it was because you heard it somewhere else.
Yeah, it made a psychological imprint, and that's what all good comedy does to people. So when somebody ends up writing something or thinking that they're wrong with something, of course it's going to happen.
And
so
that destroyed him. Because Dan Cook was the man.
Yeah,
at the time, bro.
He was in Waiting. Man. He was in a lot of different movies.
His movies was trash. Like when every movie that he starred in was garbage. Good luck, Chuck.
It was. That's why he wasn't the star in Waiting, though. No, that was.
He was the cook. He was the cook.
Yeah. Yeah,
with his name, right? He used to cook. He's
changed
being
how
cook.
I looked at eating out. I'll tell you that much. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
I
was
wasn't
wilding,
going out to
man.
restaurants after that one. I'm like, nope,
Oh yeah.
nope.
Oh, with the burger. Don't even. I remember it. It was nasty. And they
Yeah, that was.
they always trying to leave at the exact time. I remember that movie. Why they never did a part two?
I don't know,
Mm.
man. I feel like they've dropped the ball in so many movies, especially back in the '80s, '90s, and the early 2000s. Man, I
Yeah.
tell you, whenever they were on to something good, they'd always have to change up who the lead characters were, and they'd change up the actors and actresses.
I
I'm like, oh,
know.
really? Come on. And then some
Chris,
they
I
just
know. I
didn't.
forgot his name too. I know. He's from the
Ah,
Bronx. He was the host of the show. It was his show actually. I forgot his name, but
Mm.
yep, you're correct, Chris. He's from the Bronx. Shout outs to him.
Yeah.
What was you
Oh,
saying, Trick?
I was going to ask you, BX, how did y'all fare with all that raining crap that we just had here lately? 'Cause I
I
know.
ain't gonna front. It got kind of crazy when
Yeah.
I knew when I ordered some food and the dude threw the bag at my head. I was like, okay. I was like,
It's
because
like,
I
I'm
didn't
out
even
of here.
realize it. Yo, fam, I'm super introverted, fam. Like, if outside of family and close friends, I don't be going nowhere. I be chilling. I'm in the crib smoking, watching movies. So I'm
Right.
like, let me
Yeah.
order some chicken. I went downstairs not even knowing, fam. And before I could even like get to the door, he was mad. I look, the rain is like it's like maybe a good, I would say 2 feet off the ground from like the
Yeah.
entrance. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Yo,
Yeah.
this dude threw the bag. Ha! Bah! I'm like, yo, I couldn't even
Yep.
get mad because I'm like, all right, I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
I was
from
like,
New
my
York
bad.
City all the way down here to Pennsylvania and even down lower south, man, everybody got slammed. And especially
Yeah.
certain parts, even in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, thankfully, that's about 30 some odd miles away or whatever it is from us. But I saw some of the pictures of the different overpasses that were literally flooded up to the bottom of the overpasses. I'm like, holy,
Wait.
the amount of water that needs to happen to just drain that fast into one area, that's never happened
Hold
before.
on. Hold
Historic.
on. Chris is saying something in the chat. Mario, why you not saying nothing? This is
nigga,
Yeah.
your
I'm
If
show.
just listening to
if
what
my
y'all was
phone breaks
saying. What
up,
the
it's
fuck?
because
I'm
I'm
not
losing
finna
power.
interrupt what y'all. I'm listening
It's your
and
show.
agreeing. I'm like, yeah, for sure.
She was saying no, it's a female. All right, so that means both people. The guy that show it is, it's not a female. The person that runs that show, he's from the Bronx as well. So if you're talking about the other female that was on the show with them, that's if she's from the Bronx, that's crazy. Gina, you talking about the girl with the gap? That's how I know her. I never knew her real name. She's a comedian with the gap. She was in
Uh,
Pose. Gina Brilliant.
yeah.
Let me see. No, who the hell is this? Am I spelling the name right? Wait, huh? You said
So I
BX,
guess
the
you
other
wasn't
comedians
talking.
from the Bronx. Yeah, I'm so confused. She said BX, the other comedians from the Bronx, and then you said no, it's a female. I'm so confused. All right, I think it was two different conversations going on. All right, my bad, my bad. Talking about America's Got Talent. All right, I was so lost. I looked the person up. All right, yo, what happened to True?
It probably gonna pop back in. His Wi-Fi tend to do that sometimes.
All right. What was your opinion
Nah, but
on
I was
that?
just listening to shit. That shit was deep. What the fuck am I gonna say? I agree. Yes, nigga. Yeah, say what you saying. Talk your shit. I'm listening. That shit was deep.
No, that's all good, Chris. That was my fault. I confused it. I thought you because it was back to back. I thought that's why I was like, wait, what? I got so confused. I was like, I know for a
Oh yeah,
fact the
nah, I don't
host of
know
that
what the
show
fuck that
is
was. Yeah, nah, yeah.
I was like, I know for a fact the host of that show is a man from the Bronx. But then I thought you was talking about the female comedian that was sitting next to Patrice O'Neal that has the gap.
Oh
She's,
yeah.
what happened to
My
Gap?
nigga
Where
say
Gap
Gap
at?
passionate.
Where Gap at?
Oh, she
Gap is in here
she
wilding.
she she working towards her gap and gown.
You ever let somebody rub your gap? That's crazy. She said that. She was like,
She said
yo,
somebody punished her gap.
yo, did you ever rub somebody's gap, Mario? You ever had to rub somebody's gap?
Nah, I ain't never hit that level. I don't know.
I don't even know what that means, but she welcomed it. She was like, all right. I was like, that's crazy.
I bet folks be trying
Mario.
to tongue kiss and they be kissing through her teeth and shit.
I don't know. I don't know what rubbing gaps is, but it sounded hilarious, and I was so thrown off.
That sounds
Anyways,
problematic.
I just got to watching semifinals. Would love to show you a Josh Blue or the fan game. Cool beans. I'll watch it. No
Hell yeah.
problem.
I ain't got the
Nope.
dark. People, they get granted here because I would have said the B word.
Oh, you live in that kind of life.
I'm still gonna still say it anyway. You know how my sensor works. I only can catch it in between so many urges, and
No, I
then
ain't being
boom,
nice
it
to
comes out.
Kyra. Kyra ain't never
Wait,
nice
what?
to me.
I am. You almost
Be
got me.
nice to
I'm
Kyra.
next to you. You crazy?
Kyra ain't never nice to me, fam. Must be
Bro,
nice to
you just
Kyra.
got to be painted. You
So
get
what?
out of here. Nothing. I'm
What are you
just
talking about?
talking.
Yeah,
I
what are
don't
you
know.
talking about?
I
This is
just,
some
you know, when
random.
you get throwing out random shit. Oh yeah, you get used to that all the time. People throw out random, real random slander. They gotta be careful playing with that.
Yeah.
Man, they say Beast Boy hate oxygen. I'm like Beast Boy's an alien. Ooh no.
Yeah, if I raise my hand, they're gonna say I had a missile.
Shit crazy.
It's a full anger management moment. Sorry, y'all, my dang
Hey,
phone
what's
died.
up?
No worries. You can speak
What's up?
however you want, Mario. Grumpy Granny said you cool to use the B word up in this piece. If real could come on here talking
Yeah.
about something, you could use the B word when you're not. Man, who cares, bro?
Hey
That's what you
man,
want to do.
when you try to be respectful, it always backfire, and I try not to backfire because I do my best being respectful.
Listen, listen,
But
Mario.
what?
All hairlines go to heaven.
You
So don't
said
worry, you're
what,
gonna see
nigga?
yours again. I said all hairlines go to heaven. So you're gonna see yours again, man. Don't worry about it.
Fuck all that. Anyway,
How I feel. Just randomly just get that a joke tossed at your ass for no reason, huh? Yeah?
hey, fuck you, nigga. Anyway,
Playing
so
that shit on
like,
your stream now.
yeah, it is what it is. It's the name of it. It's crazy, fool, that no one ever will. Not no one, but like as a whole collective, it's gonna slowly grow, but it's gonna always be a few that be so close but never not truly get it because they're easily misled by the environment that they're in.
Thug life.
I don't know, any type of propaganda that's detrimental and such, or a movement that perpetuates unity and equality for some subgroup. If they're a subgroup or not, that doesn't matter. They'll feel as such because that's something that's relatable to them or their ideals.
BX, you need a new lighter? It sound like I do. That's a fact. I'm getting sick of these lighters breaking so damn quick. It ain't like I be using the
Yeah.
same one. It's always a new lighter.
I don't know, man.
They
You
just
must
don't
get them
last
cheap
long.
ass.
How much you spend on your lighters, big pimpin'?
No, ain't no
Granddaddy
spit on
lighter?
later. I'm
Would
asking,
you?
you
Well, what kind of
get
hundreds you
big?
spending on yours, fam? Talking about cheaper. What's yours? Dipped in gold, fam? What kind of lighter you got? What kind of lighter you got? A flamethrower? What kind
I
of shit?
get big, nigga. One flick, big, nigga. Get your money up. What's up? Stop missing.
I ain't doing it like you, big pimpin'. I ain't there
Yeah,
yet.
you is. You're
Baby
doing it
steps.
bigger.
Psych. Talking about,
Man,
man.
stop yapping.
You need to get you a PO box. I'll be trying. I tried that before, man. Post office had me mad
I'm
as
gonna give
hell.
me a PO box. Hey, fool, you know how to do it. When you do it, can you please like give me a hint on how the fuck that go back? Cause I'm about to just go to a fucking post office and say, how the fuck do I do it? But I wanted to have a mindset at first.
Nah, you got to fill out the form for one. This is gonna piss you off. You have to fill that form out online, bro. They not gonna print that shit out and give it to you either.
Oh no. Okay.
So like, it would be easier to print it, do it online, and then go to the post office collect your stuff. But do know that it seems like the post office you got to give out your name too. So you're gonna be doxing yourself
I ain't tripping
if
about
that's
that
the
shit, but I
way.
know what you're saying. I just need a
Yeah, I was
PO
gonna say
box
if
so I
that's
can
what you're
order
gonna
shit
do.
from Amazon and shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's up to you. But just give me a heads up if you go the post office
Yeah,
route.
yeah. I appreciate that. That's what's up.
You
Yeah,
said
damn
for a
it.
quilt, Brandon, I only use big lighters. What type of lighter is this? This gonna say Liberty, Liberty, and the other one's Five
Justice.
Flags.
Oh,
Justice.
for all.
All right, man. Let me. I'm gonna let you rock, brother. Let me get my ass.
No,
I'm gonna take
no,
a
no,
shot.
come on, slow down, bro. I'm sorry,
Talking about some liberty and justice for all. If you don't get your ass out of here with that,
bro.
talking about
That was good though. That was funny.
man, you crazy.
You crazy. Hey,
I ain't
so
got
since
no
I
crazy.
ain't got no type of control over any videos or anything, like I can't do shit.
Mm.
Like anything you want to pull up, watch or something. That's kind of like my. That's gonna be my juice till I get me a laptop. I'm gonna have my guest let ask them at any time if there's anything they would like to pull up and share. It ain't no bullshit, you know. Promote. Tap in for baby. We don't give a fuck. We just get the label. You hear me?
Um, hmm. I can play some stuff if you want me to.
That shit, yeah, niggas. If you want to, yeah, yeah. Everybody want to hear some fang gang banging. Hit the one. If you don't type no numbers. Just disregard what I said, like y'all always do, cause don't y'all fuck with me.
You said fangin, fangin.
Fang gang, fangs out, niggas.
Which you want to hear? I'll let you request. R&B or hip hop.
See, man, both them hoes out. I ain't gonna lie. Let me hit some of that R&B real quick.
I I got you. Let's see. Let's play something I haven't played in a while. Oh, okay. This is some R&B type shit. All right, you gotta select the string.
I
Click
got you.
the
I'm
button.
waiting right on it.
All right.
You know, it's fun. Like I don't see a fucking number in chat at all, right? But I see R&B though.
Yeah, people was like, yeah, no, we're just gonna tell you what we want, man. Why put numbers if
Look
we
at
just
that fang gang R&B. Man, that's fucked up,
one or
bro.
two or
My
hip
bad.
hop?
It's my fault. See, I created the. Oh yeah, fuck all that. I
Yeah,
created
you
that,
did. That was you. You did that. That was
and I ain't
you.
even mad. Yes, my people. That's all it
That's
is.
hilarious.
Hey, hey, I ain't heard of no one being who I wanna be. If they say they
I'm
hate me, why they all
bumping.
steady following? And what is you on? Is you on? Then what
This
is
is
you
K-Maze. I
on?
hope y'all enjoy the
Is you on?
ride.
Is you
Thanks,
hustle all
y'all.
day? Then all night, I got money on my mind. I'm on a grind, on the grind. But today, I got time. I've been waiting, really patient, entertaining, conversation. I'm amazing, they just hating, eyes is on me, yes I made it. I ain't heard of no one being who I wanna be. If they say they hate me,
Yeah.
why they always steady following? And what is you
Shout out to
on?
BXB
Is you
for
on?
Garfield.
Then what is you
Shout out to Big,
on? Is
the
you on?
biggest
Is you on?
R&B
Tell me what you want from me,
channel
cause
number one.
misery was company. Always talking about me, man, you gotta be in love with me. And what is you on? Is you on? Then what is you on? Is you on? Is you on?
Y'all been a good
Damn,
DJ.
babe, you so fly, you so fly, you so fly. Ain't never seen a girl like you. You so fly, you so fly. Yeah, you so fly, you so fly, you so fly, you so fly, you so fly. And if you ever need love, this year. Nothing more important than the love we share. I know you independent, but I still don't care. You know I'll put it down, I could take you there. Let's go,
Yeah.
let's go,
That BA.
let's go. I could take you there.
Yo,
You ain't supposed to stop. You supposed to be in the background, be like, "What's up, Mario?" While the beat going, and I'll be like,
I'm
"Yeah."
not doing all that.
Loud in the
What
mix.
that shit is that?
That shit work,
I can
fool.
barely
It
hear
work,
you.
fool.
I can
What
barely hear
niggas
your
get with the
ass.
program? Niggas get with the stream. Nigga play the
Let's
music, and I'm gonna do it
go,
again. So listen.
let's go.
I'm gonna let you
Right.
do that. Go ahead. I'll let you do
Take
that.
you there.
Mm.
You've been on my
I'm
mind
gonna turn
all
the music
day.
down, you dickhead. But anyway,
I can't hit this.
yeah,
Going down, ain't nothing else to say.
yeah, fuck it, y'all. He heard the music. He want the
Making
licks.
love.
Shut
I
up,
keep
thank
saying,
God.
yo, Fib. I can't hear you. Oh, that's why I paused
He
it in the
don't want
first
me to be a
place.
DJ fool. That
No,
you
I
see that?
can't hear
Nobody
you.
don't care.
All right, how about this, guys? Can you hear his quiet ass over the music?
I'm
Please let
quiet.
me
I ain't
know.
put no soul in it. You saying?
I'm saying I can't hear you over the music. I hear a
Oh,
little blah blah blah. That's why I paused it. Like, wait, what? You ain't supposed to pause
oh,
it. I
okay.
can't hear you. That's what I keep trying to
I
tell you.
got you. I got you. Okay, do it again, and then I got you. It ain't gonna be like I'm yelling though. I got you.
And then when I turn it down so we can hear you, he goes, "Nah, you ain't supposed to turn it back." All right, so let's go back to not hearing you. There's a motherfucker. I could hear nothing that you were saying just now.
I was just
Nah, that,
trying to do like one of the fire ass rapper interlude shit.
I get what you was on. It just wasn't. Usually when I be doing that shit, I be lowering everything, and I also turn your mic up
Oh, okay.
so it can sound better. But
Oh,
I couldn't
okay,
hear you.
okay.
Like ask the crowd. Yeah, look at the audience. No one heard what you were saying.
Fuck you, Chris, but I love you, girl. All right, for
No, that's
sure.
a lie. That's what I was trying to say. That's why I tried to turn it down for your ass. But you told me, nah.
This is my stream. This is gonna be rude. Play the damn music. Anybody, get the music
All
rocking.
right,
Let's go. Thank God.
let's go. All right.
Rodney
I
Dangerfield
promise I can
stream. No
make it
respect to you, too.
okay. And if you ever need love, girl, I'm always here. Nothing more
You
important than the
sound welcome,
love we
Granny.
share. I know you independent, but I still don't care. You know I put it down, I could take you there.
Yeah, you couldn't hear him, right? That's what I was trying to
You
tell him.
sound muffled, though. BA.
Yes, we couldn't hear you. That's what we were trying to. Yes,
I
it's not
gave
your
you
mic. It's
everything,
the
you wasn't satisfied.
pause this shit. It's the
I don't know
music
why I
that's
thought
playing
you was
is
bullshit.
no man. I was trying to tell your ass. I was like, I said, yo, I tried to turn it down so we can hear you. You talking about some nah? I'm like, all right, let's turn it back
Hey,
up.
I'm going to stand corrected, and I'm also going to take a seat. But just know, in my heart of hearts, I didn't know I was that ignorant. So my bad.
Not ignorant, man. You just didn't know that nobody could hear you. I was trying to tell you. It's all good.
I should've
You
known
got any new
I
beats
met
you
you in the
practice on? I mean,
summertime.
not
You
practice,
took
but
this
play.
heart of mine.
You say what?
You got any new samples, any new beats? Have you made? I'm just asking.
So you
Like,
don't
not
want me to
nothing
play
that
no
you.
music. You want me to play some beats so you can rap.
No, you keep playing music, nigga. I just asked the question.
Oh, in the yeah, this is so confusing, bro.
I just asked the question. Did you make any new beats lately? That's basically all that. You can still play the R&B because they got
When
the
I make
club.
beats, I
You got
make
the
whole
club vibing.
songs, bro. I don't just make beats by themselves.
Okay, that was my
About
misunderstanding. All
a
right,
beat
that's
maker,
what
a
the fuck that
producer.
means. Okay.
You ain't never once heard me go, yo, let me just play it unless I'm just like, let me hear you sing. Those are usually beats that I make whole songs to without the vocals. That because you just want to freestyle. So I'm like, all right, let me just grab one of these. I don't just be sitting here like, let me make this beat. Nah, that's not what I do. I'm not a producer or a
Okay.
beat maker. Like I just do it because I'm not gonna wait for another producer to make me a beat. So I just make my own. See, I would just be
Okay, that
having
makes
beats
sense.
just laying
Okay.
around. Like, oh, yo, you got that new joint? Nah, I don't. If I had that new joint, you would have heard vocals on top of it. That's just how
For sure, for
I
sure.
do
You
music.
know, I didn't know. I think you told me this before, but I just constantly think when I think of a person who makes their own beats, make their own songs,
That they
because
just
I know
got
what I
beats.
would do.
Just
That's that personal shit. That's yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's that personal projection. Like I will, you know. But I get what you're saying. You make shit. You make projects, and that's just be
make a whole
dedicated
song.
projects. That makes
Yeah, I
sense.
make songs. I don't just like got beats separately, just to the side. And the timing that you asked it threw me. I was like, huh? Like, wait, what? I thought you wanted me to play music. He's like, yeah, no, no. Even though I know, in order to hear me, you got to stop the music. You got no new beats? No, I ain't got no new beats. I got beats to
Well,
songs that
that's
I
where that
made.
question comes from. My bad. Okay, I got
It's all good. That's all good. You want me to play some beats for you, like from without
you.
vocals?
I wonder if you want us to hear my guy. I just was literally asking the question.
I hear you. I feel you. I respect you, gangster. No, I ain't got no beat. I'm about to
You
switch
think I
this
should
off.
change my mother question? What's wrong with you? I'm saying missing, nigga.
Nah, I just didn't know what you was uh, talking about.
I
That's just
bet
me.
you knew I
Maybe
was
I'm
saying
high.
missing.
Yes, I do
All
know
right.
that. I do know that. All right, so let me. I'm about to play a beat. Like, I'm about to,
Hey, what
hold
the
on,
fuck?
let's see. Yeah, I'm picking a beat, fam. Man,
Well,
ain't
you
new
gonna have to
beats.
rock
If
the
you
whole
ask about
verse.
beats, it's because I'm not rapping. But I'm just playing the beat. I'm gonna just play some
Girl,
beats,
bump
man.
that.
Hold
Cause I'm better hearing you
on.
bumping on your end anyway.
Hold on. I'm
So there's
searching
gonna
through the
be a delay on
photos.
my end, and I'm gonna sound kind of a little slushed, I guess.
I'm not rapping out. I'm just playing the beat.
These beat boys said, fuck that. All right, for sure. I'm gonna bring Garfield out and play an intro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know that's what you wanted. You frightened ass. Go ahead. You wanted to
What the
play
hell you
hair
gonna say
beats.
that much? I just wanted your music to be played on my screen. So if you
The
want to
music was
take that for
playing
that,
though,
that's
Mario.
disrespect.
The
And I
music was
asked the
playing, Mario.
question. I'm just asking the question. I didn't have any instrumentals, and you corrected me. You don't make
Yo,
random instrumentals. I was over
you
it at the,
asked what you just randomly
but
asked about beats. Unless you want to hear a beat, son.
I
If you
just
want to hear a
wanted
beat,
to
I'll
know
play a
if you
beat.
made it. They like, yeah, I got something new that I cooked up. On no ten, I was gonna say, all right, well, when we done listening to this, we can play some
Okay,
instrumentals.
all
I
right.
wasn't talking
So
about
forget
at
the
that time.
niceness. You wanted to hear some beats.
But that's
All
not at that
right.
time, my nigga. You making it
Did
sound
you
like I
say
just
you
stopped
wanted
and
to
said,
hear some
hey,
beats?
I want instrumentals from the jump. That's how you came in.
Nah, I was playing something. You was like, nah, you got some beats.
Yeah, okay, we good.
It's like, yo, fam. I was like, if people got food or whatever, and I got like, I don't know, some chicken and French fries, you gonna go, yo, you got rice? I'm
All
just
right,
asking.
okay.
You
Yo,
got
I
rice?
hate when I
No,
be
you asking
wrong.
because you want rice. So if you want me to just like just play some beats, just say, yo, can you play
Yeah,
some
but I did
beats?
want to hear that R&B shit because your
Yeah.
shit slap. Well, I like your
Not
music.
while you
I
wanted to hear
wasn't
these
just
beats.
playing. Like, see, there you go, man. These videos look targeted at this point. This ain't good look, BX. That's kind of cold blooded, my guy.
Oh, how is it? What's cold blooded? What I
I
do?
don't know. I just like saying shit. You know
I'm
how
taking
old people. Oh,
requests.
you just remind me. Write this down. It's a YouTube channel called Rinse Repeat. Please, fool, go to that channel if you know how to get videos off YouTube. Bro, they got whole Nickelodeon seasons and shit, old school snitching shit on their channel, my guy. I'm finna show get that shit before it gets off the internet. You gotta replay YouTube to hear what I said. I don't want to replay it too much. Yeah, bro, you gotta check this shit out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it.
Got Kablam and Beavers and shit. I'm like, oh, got the
Let
Fox
me check
joint.
it. Definitely gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it.
What was that shark anime? What was that shark cartoon, nigga?
Uh, Street Sharks.
Yeah, them niggas, yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Come on, Granny. No, it ain't like that. Now y'all making me feel like I'm addicted to rap.
Hey.
Hey man, shut the fuck up, BX.
Yeah, I feel you.
Nigga said, hey.
Uh, so,
That was it. You said it. I
um,
didn't.
yeah. All right.
Mm, I hate this man. You be acting so motherfucking low, bro. Like, damn, I be really that random.
What I do?
No, you just be like that. It be the little words you say in certain moments of your bewilderment. You just sound so loud.
I do be lost, fam. Like I'll be lost as hell, man. And in fact, no, you know what? It ain't I'm lost.
Man,
It's because I'm like so like steps ahead, or at least the way I think. Fam, I already know the end point, so I just cut the middle out. That's
oh,
the way I
okay.
think.
And it'd be a
So, like
whole lot of middle. So I get what
for example, when I knew damn well you wanted to hear a damn beat, bro. So it's like, yo, fam, just ask to hear a beat. But then all the nah, because I only asked in the middle of you playing music, knowing that you can't hear me and that you was gonna have to stop the music to if you had beats, because I was just asking. No, it's because you
that was
wanted to
not
hear a
an
beat. So why not just say that? Just no middleman, get to that. But that's just a small
Give a
example.
nigga
I
half.
think like
But
that
I
for
take a beat
everything.
song. Now I see the R&B song I really wanted to hear. I ain't gonna fly you out when you said R&B. But you played it, John. You played it. Like you think it was sick. But the R&B that I was thinking about was I should have requested it was goddamn it, that secretary junk. You know what I'm saying? That not it ain't called secretary, but instrumental that you made on that junk. You know that sample you made off that junk, that Dirty Secretary movie. I
You
call it
said
Dirty
something about
Secretary
an
because I seen
instrumental
that
from
junk before.
Secretary.
What? A what? No, you know the sample you made off that movie beat. I think it was movie beat. When you were talking about this shit,
Um,
I got the one to make the rules. All the real ones, you got to the front. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got a front. Ain't that R&B or that's rap?
you said, isn't that what?
That R&B, right?
You said, isn't it what?
Is that R&B or is that rap? I asked the
That's an
question. I did a
R&B
double
song.
negative. That's why you're
It's
confused.
kind of mixed. It's both. I couldn't hear you. It's a mixture of both. The hook is R&B,
Oh,
but
okay.
the verses
Hip hop
is hip hop. Yeah, there you go.
for the heartbreaks on that.
Yeah.
This nigga.
No need to judge, man. Try to throw the book at you. Sentence for sentence, read between the lines. Sellers,
Yeah,
MAC.
yeah. It's
We here?
crazy.
There you go.
Yeah, can't stop cheesing all this
Ask me
shit.
where I've been, traveling deep within. Whole time searching, left behind. Damn, that isn't right. They claim I never write, but writing's not my type. I don't fuck with the penmanship and feelings.
Yeah, and BX, all three of these verses went to,
Silly.
like, they was all free verses. Yeah, so I put them all together after I freestyled
Wait,
it. So
wait, what?
all
what you
three of
saying?
them verses all three of the verses to the song were free verses. I didn't have them to any particular song. They were just projects that I ain't never get the feature to, or I ain't just write no hook. So that all three of the verses are three different elements. But it's funny how they all congeal to the whole song. That's what I be tripping off of, how shit kind of go in life, when you write shit. Cause I wrote them verses like one part on different beats and everything else, and then I found this beat on that day, freestyle the chorus, and there we go.
Good stuff.
Fuck with the penmanship and feelings, I'ma be Pacific. Bars mixed with beats, one hell of a feeling. Since there were limits, pain one for instant, maxing out. Ace and squares off in stations, no plan. Time for eradication, no saving. Erasing data, destroying cases, removing faces. Booking flights to different states just to make a statement. Post it, laying waste to where I land. Watching the doubters fall out. It's a nuke on
Mm-hmm.
the loose, hell on the battlefield. In this modern warfare, you will get it too.
That's good, yeah.
Hit the ground running, leaving flames behind. Back to the future, facing the fucked up past of mine. Plans more of a mastermind, I mastermind, always on the grind. If the future sign, bright minds, white light, high beams in rear view mirror sight. No matter which side, you look up or down, you're blind. Still out window, you say you carry cool. I only pick my food with this cannon, add tomato paste to his noodle soup. Tracy, I ain't the one, yet I got that rocker cockeyed. Hit the block just to cream 'em. Long range birds, I flipping the bird while they'll sell it supersonic quick with succession. Keeping things hotter than waves, rookie season. Believe I'm AI with my handling ways. And since numbers don't lie, my team got threes for days. You'll be swimming with the Pisces, thinking you can weigh your best, you Libra. Especially when my specialty specialize in verbal weaponry. Quitting, that's fuckery. Only up I give his chin, sit, push or pull. Even with pains the salary, I works it out, cutting no breaks, ABS. Always beating second, whatever it takes, no matter the stakes. Make no mistakes, sell it. You have to love yourself or anybody else can. Figure that out. If you don't, you will soon. You all you need, right? Ask me where I've been, traveling deep within. Whole time searching, left behind. Damn, that isn't right. They claim I never write, but writer's not my type. I don't fuck with the penmanship and feeling. Ask me where I've been, traveling deep within. Whole time searching, left behind. Damn, that isn't right. They claim I never write, but writer's not my type. Kill anybody I cancel, my flow born cancer. Life's a lot like Jeopardy, that's why I question all of the answers. Hopefully you can scope the horror about to unfold. Treat your actions like Texas and take it slow. My nuts, you can hold them. While I poke her face showing no emotion. Now she casino, more she scream 4 bars and lean with 2 though. Did I mention that she 2-tone on the soprano? Get more hit the senior year. No eye contact, if so she gets a leer. Keep a raincoat on, never fear. Her walls the levees when Katrina was here. Of course me and my cash is in the course. Don't mistake it, the rubber band broke. My account pregnant, check the bank statement. Money talks, yours having a locomotion. No commotion, no relation. Your constant hating bring forth the greatness that been awakened. Putting my heart into it out the gate, no Kevin. You're salty, why when you're the one stalling? What the hell are you doing? Working your gun, blowing nothing but hot air. Fuck out of here, what sauce, boy? Be damned if I got a flavor. You lost, boy. Tryna hang, wish you would, lynch mom. Jim Crow games, you got a dream, won't happen unless you act on it. In the bullpen, ducking and dodging demons. Never been pinned yet, expressing what been put up with. Honestly, a foolish decision. Tired of being profiled, cause the skin I'm born in. They claim I'm cursed with, they ask me where I've been. Ask me, yeah. Cold as it gets, broken hearts begin to freeze. Could be for the best, so you won't lose another piece. What's breaking up, we was on the road to completion. If you end, then you'll never know if your mission was complete. Just look to your soul when it speaks, you'll find the truth that you seek. If not, don't weep. Ask me where I've been, traveling deep within. Whole time searching, left behind. Damn, that isn't right. They claim I never write, but writer's not my type. I don't fuck with the penmanship and feeling. Ask me where I've been, traveling deep within. Whole time searching, left behind. Damn, that isn't right. They claim I never write, but writer's not my type. They claim I'm cursed with. They claim I'm cursed with. They claim I'm cursed with. They claim I'm cursed with.
Napa know-how. At Napa, the more Valvoline products you buy, the more you save. It's like the quantum physics of deals. It doesn't really make sense, but somehow it works. Save $10 when you spend $40, $15 on 60, or $20 on 80. So no matter what multiverse you're living.
Oh yeah, feeling you. Another freestyle hit. It's not arrogance, it's evident. You know, Beast Boy, you got it, we got it. Fang Gang all day. Tune in. After dark all night.
On my cool, calm, and collected. I'm real cool. Come join my never-ending smoking session. Yeah, we smoking. And if it don't smoke, it's all good like credit. It's all good, baby. Baby, hold it down, play your cards right like Texas. And you know that I'm feeling you. For real, for real. I will let you know exactly what it do. I'm real, I'm real. We can get along, let's go dish your crew. Dish these bitches. I just wanna get you up in the mood. Wanna get you there. And you know that I'm feeling you. For real, for real. I will let you know exactly what it do. I'm real, I'm real. We can get along, let's go dish the crew. I just wanna get you up in the mood
tonight. Damn. You've been working and stressed. Drink to the past, be forgetting or forgiven, at least forgotten. Reliving it is not an option. Let me leave your hair a mess while cleaning that pussy polish. You reap what you sow, time for a harvest. Body picture perfect, I know I'm an artist. Cheap fire, I call it arson. Anyway, point of Moesha. Even all the haters will feed. Pass the fireball out the freezer. Say you wanna meet, I'm a beat. Making the world start spinning, that's the feature. You a keeper. Tonight, can we take a flight? Only wine you doing is drinking. No need to cry for any reason. This color with a baby came with the season. Show you a whole new world. You a princess, Jack or Cinderella. Can you say the last dance for me? And when the clock strikes 3, we can leave. My only intention is to ease your mind, no stressing, girl. Now you know I'm feeling you. We can do anything you want to do. Good vibe, keep you in the mood. What it do tonight?
I'm on my cool, calm, and collected. I'm real cool. Come join my never ending smoking session. And if you don't smoke, it's all good like credit. It's all good, baby. Baby, hold it down, play your cards right like Texas. And you know that I'm feeling you. For real, for real. I will let you know exactly what it do. I'm real, I'm real. We can get along, let's go dish the crew. Let's dish these bitches. I just wanna get you up in the mood. Yeah. And you know that I'm feeling you. For real, for real. I will let you know exactly what it do. I'm real, I'm real. We can get along. Let's go on that joint, y'all. I just wanna get you up in the mood. Ooh, ooh. I roll it up by the garbage bag. Come smoke the shit that you never had. If you don't smoke, drink from the flask. I wanna beat it like it's everlast. Your bad baby like a little lad. Got me acting slow like a PS lad. You all I want out of Santa's bag. But real talk, I ain't rushing. I enjoy seeing you blushing. You sweet like honey custards. And you got a big old bubble. Never mind that lusting. Although I just wanna clutch it. Your skin softer than memory foam, I can't help but to touch it. I'm on some other shit I need to build. If it ain't no connection, I'ma yield. I'ma keep on trucking on the football field until I find God's precious gift. If I see something different in you, you not like the others. You more like the wifey type, not some damn baby mother. Nah, I'm on my cool, calm, and collected. I'm real cool. Come join my never ending smoking session. Yeah, we dope. And if you don't smoke, it's all good like credit. It's all good, baby. Baby, hold it down, play your cards right like Texas. And you know that I'm feeling you. Real, real. I will let you know exactly what it do. I'm real, I'm real. We can get along, let's go dish the crew. Let's dish these bitches. I just wanna get you up in the mood. I can take you there, yeah. And you know that I'm feeling you. For real, I will let you know exactly what it do. I'ma let you know we can get along. Let's go dish the crew. Let's dish these bitches. I just wanna get you up in the mood. I can take you there, yeah.
In the streets, nigga posting on the strip, trying to get a bitch to hoe. Man, you know I'm a pimp. If a nigga get that money, then he all about him. Gotta fuck with the tanker, that was real niggas. So we rolling in the Swiss and sweet fucking fruit, you know, Fruit Loop. Dark side, Kellogg. Know I'm on my money shit. Y'all niggas ain't even 50, trying to be 50 when you gotta keep it 100, bitch. Hell, man, I'm nothing, bitch.
Hello. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I ain't no bitch nigga. You ain't fucking with no Trump. Nah, I'm a so bad nigga. I ain't smoking since 10 months. If a nigga keep playing, I'ma go up that pump. Leave it face the other way. Leave your body so slump. I'ma tell you like this. No nigga ain't no cum. If your ass hit the ground, man, your ass gonna get stumped. Man, I love a keep a spot, love a keep a 4-0. Man, I love a keep a 4-5. I got a 4-4. And I got a new pistol, man, it got a slug, no. It's you in your head, all aim no level below your throat. Bitch, we ain't doing it. I be doing none on the horn. You be saying shit. You be flogging on
Man, let me be thorough, with young thorough, and don't forget KO. Sell it in the game, and I promise, man, I'm all about my bread like mayo. Bitch, you need to chill out, cause I promise when I start bumping your ass, Kano. I'm just shooting them lasers and rolling like I was Kano. Coming with them blazes, something like Rico, nigga better chill out. It's just a free throw, just ball a nigga with a free code, and I fuck the hoe and I let go. I ain't never shit, I'm too tight like a speedo, nigga better get back before I blow up torpedo. I promise, man, and I'm the man in the game, and I'm taking my chips like Pringles. I don't fuck with singles, I don't fuck with Johnson. All I get is that Benjamin riding in the Benz, and I am the man. They should came me like 100 grand. Man, I promised that 20 grand. Get my mind slurred and my mind gone. Cold 45, didn't do me favors with that black in my eye. Man, I'm slow. Hey.
I be mad at my bitch. I be mad at my bitch.
Niggas say he got a plug, but KO got a circuit. Bitch, we out here on the block like it's the job. My son stacking half thug, you gotta be honey. If you ain't that nigga, why they morgan on your lunch? They lunching, and we coming DJ like the army. 100 grenades, man, your wagon pop. And you know it, money, homie, I don't fuck with something. If you from the South, then okay, open getting it.
Hello?
Yeah, that was on phone and car. You know how when you freestyle with people, somebody feel more and turn up on their jump.
You gonna keep playing it?
I was just literally typing that in chat. Oh, you gotta go on past that because that was kind of like some loud part that probably might irritate people eardrums. It's not really too many more of those on there. I was literally just playing the net in chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, that read, for lack of a better word.
Yo, what's up, E? What it do, Blaze?
Read is right.
Kibo.
Read
Easy.
works.
MOE the gang. MAC is where we at, boy. Don't get it twisted. This ain't what you want. We always hustle. We always get this money, man. Hustle with nowhere hurts. All stars converse. Ain't nothing to converse if money don't come first. You know what I'm saying? What it is, proper? JD, Craig, everybody in the circle. Mallory Heights, we putting it on for South Memphis. We finna get it. What it is, nigga.
Problems come, problems go. Only thing on my mind is getting dope. It's getting more. It's getting more.
I did this on the
It's getting more. It's getting dope. Problems come, problems go. Only thing on my mind is getting dope. It's getting more. It's getting more.
Only thing on my mind is a dollar sign.
Breaking them down to dime for $1 like quarters. The flow is hard as a boulder. Car same color as Yoda. The brand is Toyota. My money's secure, bank in my safe. Sleeping on the cash, the safe is my place. I can feel the hate. It's a heated debate. How I'm superior to these lanes. Great Lakes, frankly they dead to me. Christopher Reeves, and I'm from the trees. They fall high, drop them dead leaves. Money coming constantly, trying to be rich as Romney, but my paper don't fold. What the hell is origami? My cash folklore, something you can believe. That is the White House forehead, something you couldn't read. People come and people go, can't let it bother me. If it's O's get the partnership, wasn't meant to be. Call me Einstein, cause I'm far slow. Even though I get retarded on track.
Radio. What's up with you, Cello, man? This your boy DJ Johnny Blaze, man. I had to hop on this motherfucker, show you some love. MOE the gang, you know what I'm saying? They probably know ENT in this bitch. Show off ENT. What it do, easy, man? Shit, we up in this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Shit, South Memphis. Like my nigga said, man, if it don't make money, it don't make sense, you know what I'm saying? Or if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Bitches.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV. So why am
I don't know her and don't endorse her content, but that was all. We appreciate y'all.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, man. I gotta go work on a few things.
Of course, you're a busy man as always. I actually believe this was long enough. I need to actually take care of some stuff, do some more constructive things like exercise and things of that nature, shit like that. I think this was actually a pretty decent rebound stream. I think I named this rebound. Yeah, usually be after a certain stream that I either see or something like that. I make a plan ahead. Like I think I'm really coming up with good schemes on it. I kind of like where this is going, and I appreciate your, your push on that because I always wanted to do it, but I guess it always takes that. Go ahead, then motherfucker like, well, I will, and then there you go.
No, that's no problem, man. It seems pretty dope, man. I like where it's heading.
Yo, that sound drained, nigga. Or you just high. There you go. You high, y'all.
I'm probably pretty
Grandma,
high.
seen some cocaine.
But oh, this guy's wild. All right, I'll see you.
Have a good one. Fang gang forever. Thank y'all so much for enjoying. I'm gonna make sure I plan ahead so there'll be more people next time. But I don't give a fuck if it be 3 to 9 or 2 to 1. As long as y'all here, we're having fun. Y'all have a great day. Give a damn what anyone say. Don't let no one take y'all happiness the devil hate it. Fang gang is forever. Love, peace, and hair grease. And let South Memphis be with you. Always. I appreciate all y'all. Stay up.